bebe time ng mga players nyo or kayo talaga ay mga kaibigan na sumusuporta dito sa stream natin, eh, sabihin niya na din kung sino yung sinusuporta niya dito or kung gusto nyo magpa-shoutout, eh, okay lang din naman yan, di ba? Di ba, Sneaky?
Yeah, for sure, man. I really feel like REA-7 definitely gonna get some cheers from yung Cebuano crowd natin, considering the locality, no? So, hopefully, they do show up, cheer for the squad. Hopefully, some of the Xypher Pro Team fans also show up, no? Kasi definitely is a, you know, it's a challenging thing na this is your first CFS game series in general, no, as a team. So, hindi mo naman may iwasan na hindi ka kakabahan dito, man. So, hopefully, Xypher's not feeling any of the nerves.
Definitely not, right? I mean, na-predict na nga natin na baka sila yung matalo dito. Pero, again, it's this Tier 2 tournament that a lot of people or a lot of players are excited to watch para, you know, parang ma-survey lang kung kamusta naman yung Tier 2 scene natin, kung kamusta naman yung mga humahabol na mga bata, di ba? I'm pretty sure that yung mga teams natin, baka mga averaging, mga 18 years old, mga 20 years old lang yung mga to, baka sila na yung susunod na Ubek Maniac na baka makapag-surprise sa mga tao, lalo na't may opportunity sila makapag-qualify. Diba? I mean, yung story talaga ng Ubek Maniac yung parang nagmarka sa akin sa buong stage ng 2024, diba? Kasi they're a surprise. Nobody expected them to go through, pero they're one of the teams that actually made so much impact na nakapag-international pa nga sila, especially dun sa ACL as well. So we're back into the game, mga kaibigan. Tapos na tayo sa pag-yap. It's all gonna be down to R7 versus Xypher Pro Team. They start on compound at mukhang control pa lang doon sa may zone B ang gagawin ng R7.
Already, very aggressive defense galing nga dito sa R7. I mean, classic pacing galing sa kanila dito. Really don't want to give itong BPL or itong mid for free. So, no one really moving dito sa ating GR side so far. Don't really have to, as the map of compound does kind of play for itself from time to time. At most, may mga sniper shots na mangyayari nga dito sa mid as Ajax takes his first shot, and I think naspatan niya dun si Inverse sa cone mid.
Lots of damage done dito kay JCD as well. Has to be careful since he is going to be the on player, the second one. Runs my side, G-Prex also. Clear up now all the way from that finish position. A lot of damage done by Blacklist. Xypher Pro Team, a lot of attention doon sa my mid-side. Try to see if they can bait up on si Ajax, and they do with that first blood. Inverse going to be getting that first kill para sa Impact Summer 2025. At parang it's all that they've been looking for, man. To try to get that mid-control, pero hindi pa at all nagbabudge yung R7. Talagang stay lang sa zone A, stay lang sa pillar sila pareho.
Yep. Ajax getting a bit too antsy pagdating sa kanyang peeking dito sa mid. Walang katulong, walang ka-trade whatsoever. Jam, mahuhulog na rin. And Tristan goes back down to CA into mid para ma-join na ang kanyang kakampi dito. This is most likely a full curve push na mangyayari dito, and R7 is now anticipating it, pero kailangan din nilang isipin na may pwedeng lumabas ng entrance A. Jeffrox getting the swing down dito kay Leo. Tristan getting a second one on the round and even getting the third. JCD at Jeffrox mahuhulog na nga dito, and what a resounding start para dito kay Tristan on Impact, man. 4K first round of the entire tournament, pare.
Absolute domination. Pakatapos patayin yung player doon sa loob ng mid. Sniper gun made it easier for them na makapag-rotate papunta doon sa may EA. Try to get that zone A control quickly as that. 1-0 para sa Xypher Pro Team. Jam gonna try to relegate himself back dito sa cubby position natin, habang ang iba pa mga players ng Xypher Pro Team ay a bit of a contrast. Medyo nagkaiba na yung pacing nila dito. Kung kanina fast mid, babalik sila dun sa CA.
Very wary sa presence ni Ajax, but not expecting him na lalabas ng catwalk B. Ajax does go down with a trade. Jeffrox looking for a numbers advantage siguro para makakuha ng isa dito sa mid, pero JCD makikita si Ephraim. And Jeffrox, I mean, he doesn't really have to do anything too aggressive dito sa mid natin, as medyo bukas yung curve, but I don't think XPT realizes at this very moment. So mapapabalik sila dito sa store A actually and try to see if they can take over A side from the LA side.
Awkward pa nga no? C4 far away from the vicinity. Papasok pa lang yung Xypher Pro Team as Jam gonna try to take down tong si Inverse. Successful in his regard. 4v2 na nga. Sobrang laki ng damage papunta sa Xypher Pro Team as medyo naging slow na yung pace dahil doon sa defense nila on that A zone. Habang hinihintay pa yung paghatid ng C4 all the way to the mid side. May oras pa naman sila. Barely a minute para nakuha ng some sort of mid control, smoked on down, papunta dun sa may EA, try to see if they can get the curve position on down. Pero no pressure talaga dito para sa R7. They still have to look forward to where they're gonna go. Rock's gonna get that first open hit yet again, and Leo also gonna get sprayed down. A double para sa kanya. He's been fiery hot sa ating first round pa lang. At ngayon siya na-reward with that first round on the board.
Yeah, REA-7 probably realizing sa last round natin na hindi pwedeng basta-basta yung mga overpeaks na ginagawa nila from time to time. They have to be slightly smarter about it. As I say that, mahuhulog si Ajax sa hagdan ng tower trying to get inverse out of the picture sa start pa lang ng round natin. Pero Jeff Rocks, meron ng 2 tao sa kanyang likod. JCD will go and get itong si Leo, pero Ephraim gets them both. Naku po, nagkaubusan na ka sa start ng round, and REA-7 fighting at the start of the round is not the best idea. Kung nandito kayo sa compound, especially with the shots that XPT is hitting, might want to peel back a bit.
The passive positions ng Allen dito, except for Jam, who, let's face it, he wants to take the fight. 2 versus 4 na nga sila. Dapat hindi sila naghihintay-hintayan. He actually wants to go for the flank right now. Kailangan maging careful. Si Exa mukhang tumitingin, pero with the wall bang, Cross is down, Jam with the flank. Nakita na nga yung position na dito. Patay si Hexa, patay din si Inverse. That's 2 kills from the flank. And a 2v1 where Jam has to do everything para sa team niya.
Jam, no choice. Kundi dumaan dito sa curve. I mean, 40 HP. 2 bala na lang yan realistically. Jam looking for Ephraim, pero Ephraim, perfect cover. Actually, spotting him dito sa pillar. He cannot escape back to Z. Instead, Ephraim will get the headshot dito kay Jam. So 2-1 so far. Xypher Pro Team having a good BL, but at the same time, itong REA-7, those early round fights are kind of weakening yung kanilang defense going into yung late round natin.
Medyo antsy, no? Kita mo, willing sila makapag-fight. You could see that Jeff Rocks is not hesitating to push on. Kita mo si Jam, perfect timing din, even though they were at a 2v4. Pero sa gantong sitwasyon, kailangan maging careful na sa bawat pushes, sa bawat decision ninyo as a team. And R7 giving up that mid pushes and giving up yung flank watches na pwede niya dapat gawin. Pero at this point, they're gonna take yung mga close rounds dito. It just shows na may potential ang R7 laban sa Xypher Pro Team kahit aggressive yung nagiging approach nila.
Not store of a round para nga dito sa XPT. Di masyado umangat. I think they're fully aware naman yung REA-7 na kaya nila maging agresibo from time to time. Plenty of time to set up though as the smoke goes down dito sa curve. We'll give a slight look at Jeff Rocks kung anong pwede mangyari dito. Most likely a ace split. Unless gusto pa nilang mag-detour papunta nga dito sa curve to wrap around that ace site. Pero possibly just to set the timings off para sa mga players natin. Probably try and see if they can draw out any of the players dito ng REA-7 to try and peek aggressively as XPT now starting to file paloob na nga yung middle area natin. Jam nasa loob ng Z trying to get a quick headshot. Good flash. Leo still gets the headshot dito kay Jam at papasok na sila dito sa A side. Si Charles nasa loob ng C1, mahulog na rin sa dito. Leo with a good 3K and Inverse. Nakita pa nga si Jeff Rocks dito sa likod. And it's not just itong si Kristan that has been impressive. Leo with a huge 3K entry para makapasok dito sa A-site.
Fully trusting doon sa close angle. Kaya si JCD sobrang layo at nag-iisa na lamang sa 1v5 spots at Tristan, pero hindi naisip yung close angle. Patay pa nga na 3-1 R7. Unfortunate sa timing nila dito dahil sa pagbigay ng open mid space dito sa Xypher Pro Team. A bunch of times, it's either the EA split o kaya doon sa curve kung saan sila nakakapasok, and they won the duels every single time except for that one last round where actually got a little too close. Ajax, it's that shot pero doesn't actually connect doon sa mga players on Xypher Pro Team.
Yeah, a lot more focus naman dito sa mid para sa Xypher Pro Team. CA as well, mabababaan. Pero si Charles and ni Jam, very good crossfire. Jam, hopefully na matiming na maayos yung flash dito para hindi siya mabulag, as he is gonna be the reason why Charles stays alive dito sa sitwasyon na to. Pero nga XPT kind of taking a U-turn dito sa CB. It was just a bit of a fake presence dito sa mid para makapasok sila na B-side.
Push on in towards after his position. And the only point of resistance lang naman dito, I see Jeff Rocks has to use the windows para konting free info siya dito. Pero I like what CPT are doing dito. Playing this a bit more slowly. Make Jeff Rocks think na baka iisa lang yung nag-alert dito sa side of the map. Pero ang ganda ng nade damage. All the way from that side of the map. Tristan will get that first opening pick. Sobrang late into the round. 1 minute. May time sila para mag-rotate. Kita mo, may reaction timing pa yung R7. They invest 3 players around the vicinity dito sa B. Pero may time pa para makapag-rotate onto the mid side pa rin ang XPT.
Yeah, no problem. Jeff Rocks already picked out. Storby presence unknown para dito sa R7. JCD watching the entrance pero hindi niya alam na kung meron ba na bang dumaan dito sa pintana o hindi. Pero XPT magsaset up para dito sa kanilang bid play. Plenty of nades still pero jam headshot through the smoke deal. Pero Flexa or Hexa with a good trade dito kay Jam. 3 versus 4, not too bad para sa XPT. Pwede pa sila makapasok ng site or possibly curve. Numbers are in their side pero titignan natin kung saan sila papunta dito.
The reaction that R7 are not looking for, especially na nakabukas pa ng sight si Inverse with that shot. 2v4, pistol out. JCD wins that. Laban kay Hexer right now at ngayon na nakapag-plant na ng C4. Ang XPT, it's an opportunity for them, but Charles wins that wallbang and it's all up to JCD. Jumps on in, pero that pistol's not enough. Ang Xypher Pro Team nakakuha ng isa pang panalo para sa kanilang blacklist side. And so far, so good para sa kanila. R7 really on the pace, on the reaction, on the rotation as well. Not the most perfect start that you're looking for. Lalo na dito sa pag-start pa lang ng first map natin.
Yun nga, bit of a dead round just to try and see if makaka-reconnect dito yung kabilang side. But of course, that's just a normal thing. And let's see, man. I mean, XPT so far so good para sa kanila dito. Punishing yung mga forward plays na ginagawa dito ng REA-7. I think yung adjustment naman ng REA-7 by the time that the last round did come around was not really their fault. I think yung baka players lang talaga ng XPT hitting some really nice shots, clearing itong Storby, dismantling yung crossfire dito sa mid somehow, some way with only 1 flash. So, very impressive so far yung nakikita ko dito sa XPT. At the same time, maybe REA-7 yun nga, no, maybe playing a bit too forward, maybe playing a bit too confident dito sa compound, fully knowing na yung GR side can just play itself dito sa mga sites natin. Pero, ayaw yata nila magbigay ng libreng map control, which is the usual play na nakikita natin galing sa kanila dito.
Yeah, and parang sa ganitong sitwasyon, despite the experience, talagang kita mo yung, alam nila yung game plan eh. Kasi sa mga times na nakikita natin yung mga pushes nila, it's always from yung blacklist side ng XPT. Parang na-expect nila na may aggressive na mangyayari. It's almost like na napag-aralan yung game plan, kita na yung strat book. Parang alam nila na kapag nakakuha sila ng first pick, pwede pa rin sila mag-back off. They're trying to deny that from ever happening doon sa kanilang blacklist side. No? So it's kind of like they're the ones playing yung passive approach, which usually is something na may expect mo when you're on the global risk side. So I kind of like this sort of pace change, this sort of adaptation para dito sa side ng Xypher Pro Team. I just wonder if they're gonna get antsy at some point eh. Kasi they've been waiting out yung mga rounds natin dito. And for good reason, talagang yung patience is the key for them ngayon eh.
Yeah, I feel like itong Xypher Pro Team probably have watched a few VODs or at least, know how Cebu plays in general, no? Pagdating ng mapa natin ng compound or any map, really. And yun nga, sinasalo lang nila yung aggression ng REA-7 from time to time, picking the right spots at the right time, using their utility very, very well. The trades are really good as well. So yeah, it's a really good mix of everything para dito sa XPT so far. And yun nga, I color me impressed pare. I mean, so far, they're doing some stuff na REA-7 can't really handle. Pero let's see, man. Wala pa naman tayo at the later stages ng compound map natin and malay mo makahabol yung REA-7. Pero I mean, if you're losing this hard dito sa BL side, dito sa mapa na to specifically, it's not really a sign for good times dito sa second half considering na GR sided nga yung mapa na to.
They have 2 things na they're kind of happy with, at least for R7, kahit medyo natatalo sila dito. Jeff Rocks is activated. You could still see that he's still setting shots. May damage pa rin siya every time na may engagement siya doon, di ba? Kaya Hindi lang yun. Maganda din yung mga lurking timings ng Jam, and they're also willing to take the fights to them. I think yung nakukulangan lang ako is like yung reaction or yung kumbaga yung parang rotation communication nila, di ba? Rotation communication, ang haba eh. No? Pero at this point, it's just something that they have to work on as a team. Siguro, pagka naayos din ng kanilang IGL or shot caller, once we head on back into the game. So, isipin mo dito, maybe it's a blessing in disguise na medyo nag-DC tayo kasi baka may time sila para pag-usapan yung mga pwede mangyari. And I think it's safe to say as well that it's still pretty early to tell kung magiging dominating victory pa nga lang ito so far for XPT. Kasi mali mo, pwede pa rin naman silang uminit eh. Talagang first half pa rin naman kasi tayo.
Yeah, for sure. Dami pang crossfire na lalaroin dito sa game natin. I mean, only 5 rounds in, pero obviously Xypher having the early momentum dito sa game natin. Not sure what the adjustment is para sa REA-7. Para sa akin, I really feel like they should just calm down. Maybe kung gusto nila mag-peak ng medyo agresibo dito, try to take a teammate with you para at least if you do fail to go for the pick, you know, there is a trader coming at you, pare.
Yeah. So I think it's safe to say nga naman na there's still a bit of time before we make our adjustments right now. So medyo tambay-tambay muna tayo guys dito sa stream at sa mga players natin na naglalaro. Kamusta kayo dyan? I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. It is 4:14 PM ngayon. Time check muna tayo dito sa Impact Summer Broadcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time na dito sa broadcast natin. I'm seeing a lot of friendly faces. Shoutout nga pala kay Kuya Josuave na kakauwi lang galing China. Sana ay nakapag-uwi ka ng dim sum, boss. Shoutout nga din pala sa iba pang mga die-hard fans ng Crossfire right now. I'm seeing Buko right now on the chat right din. Shoutout din sa'yo pare at he's a wonderful friend at good luck din sa kanya sa weekend kasi talagang duguan yung schedule natin for Masters this coming weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, judging from your schedule pa lang na nakita ko, for Masters, yung no, the first 2 days are definitely gonna be explosive. I mean, I can't really spoil too much, no? Pero hopefully, everyone is staying tuned kasi I think day 1 pa lang ng Masters. I mean, it's already exciting games, man. Clash of the best, basically, pwede natin tawagin dito.
Yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a show. And it's kind of unfortunate kasi yung caliber ng teams din natin dito sa Tier 2, they're no joke as well. Talagang may mga demons na pwedeng matake on yung mga top dogs natin kahit sa Masters pa lang. It's just unfortunate that we have only a few slots to actually accommodate everybody. Kaya feeling ko, ito yung magandang spotlight para ma-showcase natin dun ngayon. That's what I really like about yung impact that we have for the summer season. It's just gonna be a very good time for us to watch some good old Crossfires. We're back into the game. On play, gonna go for para dito kay Ajax, pero it's only gonna get a little bit of damage done kay Inverse right now to start with. Asa nga lang, may space na pwedeng ibigay over to the mid side as well.
Yun nga. Score is, I assume, 4-1. So, I think still slightly in the lead dito ng XPT. Start of the round though, Inverse probably getting hit sa kanyang paa dito with a sniper down to 22 HP. Not the best way to start yung round natin, pero meron nga siyang sniper sa kanyang kamay, so it won't make any much of a difference. And let's see, Inverse, gahanap na agad ng opening pick dito pa lang sa tower, pero si Jam, actually si Charles actually spotting Inverse first, tossing the nade inside dito ng tower at napasabog na nga 4 versus 5 agad sa start ng round, and that tag actually helped itong REA-7 para kunin ng sniper na si Inverse, pero meron pa silang isa na si Leo who's actually gonna pick it up.
Jam's gonna be careful right now. He smokes somewhat. Pwede maging distraction para sa kanya. Charles gonna pop in and Ajax gonna take down Leo. That's the tower player down. That is 2 for nothings coming through para sa R7. Looking good on their defense. It's a crossfire setup. It's 2 beautiful spray downs. Laban kay Jam with a 3K in hand. It is gonna be another round para sa R7. Yung recovery na hinahanap natin sa kanila. Ito na ata yung kinilangan nila so far sa kanilang compound map.
So yun nga. Si XPT. No tags at the start of the round para dito kay Inverse. Instead, si Ephraim was actually gonna run into the nade. And Jeff Rocks, kailangan niya maging careful dito. He probably spotted na meron ng dalawang miyembro na nasa kanyang harap dito sa LB. Ajax tossing the nade. Spotting si Kristan as well. Ajax trying to go for the swing. Pero wala po siya makikita. Everyone's on the left side. Jeffrock getting blindsided. Pero si Ajax makikita na dito si Hexa getting the second gamit ang kanyang Colt. Pero si Krista nagtatago ng ulo dito sa gilid. And si Krista na lang pala ang magkukumpirma na patay na dito si Ajax. 3 versus 3. And wala pang realistic na map control para dito sa XPT actually. Since, REA-7 still has full control ng mga sites natin.
Kind of interesting na hinahayaan lang sa loob ng Zone B ang nag-iisa na si Charles, pero he's shown that he is capable na labanan ng kahit sino dito sa XPT so far. With 3 kills to his name in the previous round. Now it's all on him kung pupunta nga sila dun sa Zone B. Ang problema nga lang ay nasa kabilang side ng mapa ang XPT right now. Slowly putting the C4 or delivering all the way from ST. Thinking of the A zone possibility. Habang may 1 minute timer pa lang tayo. Try to see if R7 can react to this. Pero yet again, it's a story of R7 and how separated they are na iniwan ng A sites sa nag-iisang tao. Possibly to just play for the retake scenario dito.
JCD. UF shot. Gonna confirm dito kay Ephraim. JCD does get the second one. Nice shots gamit ang kanyang AWM. Inverse na lang natitira with the sniper. 1 versus 2, very, very possible. Pero kailangan niya makakuha ng isa dito. Inverse swinging C2. Actually getting si Jam. Pero si Charles with the M4A1. Superior wall banging potential para sa kanya doon with a 2-0 so far para sa REA-7.
A trading masterclass na pinapakita ngayon ng R7 sa previous round natin. The best way para ma-dodge away yung doon sa sitwasyon na yun is if you have 2 people coming up to him na. Pero you can't really deny yung naging impact ni JCD dito. Just popping in and out of the peak. Getting a lot of damage done papunta sa Xypher Pro team as they walked on in sa A-zone natin. Jeff Rock's gonna wait this profession. No, pero si Ephraim, excuse me, ang unang makakuha ng first blood natin dito. Called out para kay Ajax. He does get himself a fadeaway. Patay na patay si Kristan. And it's all gonna be a second frag. Ajax, Jeff Rock's gonna do everything that they can to hold off yung naging push all the way towards Zone B, pero damage was done. And that also prompts them na i-take na lang yung container mid dito.
Yeah. And kind of actually pushed back yung opensa dito ng XPT who wanted to go for a fast storage B hit. Pero thanks to Ajax getting away in time, getting 2 shots before he does go down eventually, ay napaisip dito yung XPT. Maybe B is not the best idea. Try naman natin pumunta ng mid. Pero si Jam nakatayo sa gitna ng smoke. Waiting for XPT members to come in as he spots itong si Hexa pati immediately taking down na 3 miyembro. Pero meron pa naman isang tao na nasa loob ng A-side and that's gonna be JCD. Gamit ang kanyang sniper. Hexa spotting him jumping down pero naka-AK siya. He cannot wallbang as good as the M4 JCD. Getting si Leo but there's still 2 players left alive. JCD getting si Hexa. 1 HP on both players. And mapapakit na nga lang dito, inverse with the nade. JCD stuck out in the open. Naiwasan na pa nga ang HE and JCD with a 1v1 clutch gamit ang kanyang Colt. Sends REA-7 to a 3-0 lead dito sa compound.
A 1v1 na sobrang lapit, sobrang low on HP, sobrang init dahil doon sa grenade. Pero it was not enough talagang sa sobrang close. He had to pull up with his Colt. Pero at the end of the day talagang all came down to the absolute number. At sa pag-push nila all the way towards that Zone A, it all relied upon yung up high-low setup ni Charles. Pero JCD has to keep the impact going. Leo, na-shut him down 1-for-1. Pasok pa rin doon sa may ST. Mga players natin on XPT, pero because of the amount of noise that they made doon sa may first engagement nila, iniisip nila na R7 might have rotated by now.
4 versus 4 na masyado nangyayari sa mapa natin with the exception of that initial store A fight. Pero Jam, same spot sa nakita natin kanina dito sa mid. Inverse, prepping a flash para bulagin ang spot ni Jam. Pero si Jam probably spotted by Hexa. Naiwasin na pa yung flash right behind him. Meron pang 2 tao na nasa loob ng tower. Jam has to be careful. Jeff Rocks will get Krista to actually assist, and Inverse stuck between so many players. Pero si Jeff Rocks will get those scoped out, pero hindi niya mapapansin na nasa likod na pala itong si Ajax as Jam gets the finish. 4-0 para dito sa REA-7 as we enter a dead round.
Sobrang init ba naman, di ba? So much presence doon sa may mid-side. I like the confidence now from R7, no? Parang compensating for a bit of the smartness coming through from the aggressive pushes on their global risk side. I think that was missing from them. Yung cohesive nila as a unit. Talagang as a team, may malaking difference na nakita mo from their first half alone. But I guess now makikita mo na everybody's on the same page. Everybody's trading each other. And yung nag-iisang hindi nagbago is that JCD is still hitting a lot of his shots.
For sure. I think JCD has been very, very consistent dito sa laruan natin, as he should, as the sniper of the team. And ayun nga, him and Ajax really are a deadly combination pagdating nga dito sa depensa ng REA-7. I expect, no less, no? Pagdating nga sa mapa na to. Pero yun nga, Xypher, obviously having a hard time trying to push through with yung depensa dito na R7. I think they're already getting all of the openings na gusto nila dito on their GR side. And unfortunately, I mean, even though successful naman yung mga first fights dito ng Xypher, parang, ano ba sabihin to? They're not getting the numbers that they expected every time na gusto nilang tumulak papasok na site.
Parang when we're talking about kung gaano ka-close yung game na to, bumabalik sa akin yung nangyari doon sa may zone A na 1v1, diba? Absolute slugfest laban doon sa loob ng zone A, pero inverse. And put us up into the next opening. That's a first shot papunta kay Ajax. It will be that first blood. Get them towards that second half. It will be XPT to start again on that GR side now. As Hexahi peaks a little bit too early. JCB expects him with that AK-47, pero mukhang balik mo na tayo dito, Sneaky. I think we gotta get used to the fact that we're gonna see a bit of each other dito sa broadcast natin so far.
Yeah, I mean, day one things, no? I think we're just fixing whatever we can in the background just to try and see, to up the quality ng broadcast natin. Pero so far from what we've seen, galing dito sa Xypher Pro Team and sa REA-7, I mean, REA-7, kind of fighting back. XPT, obviously, meron din sila mga good rounds dito. But then, REA-7 now starting to get the feel of it. Problema ka lang, ayun nga, if they get too overzealous na naman dito sa mapa natin, then XPT is there to definitely punish. Pero gusto ko sana makita para dun sa REA-7 that they would reserve that type of aggression, no? Pagdating sa mapa ng compound on their BL side, as it is very useful to have that kind of aggression, especially having no fear pushing in some of these angles is what you need para i-clear yung ibang mga players dito.
Okay. Well, I think it's also a good idea din na medyo mag-chill muna tayo. I think it's also a good time para mapag-fix things tayo on our side. Pero para sa inyo guys, chill lang muna tayo. Hindi pa naman tapos yung game. It's just that we're gonna take a short minute break. So ako nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneak Frog. Hindi pa naman tapos ang IPAC Summer, pero magbabalik kami ng onti lang. Sa wakas, eto na guys. Eto na talaga para sa ating lahat. Mababalik na tayo sa ating first series of the day. Xypher Pro Team laban sa REA-7 Ermita para sa ating pinakaunang game sa CFS Impact Summer 2025. Ako nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko pa rin si Sneaky Frog. It's been a fun time dito sa compound map natin. Ang masasabi kong map pick ng REA-7. It took them a while para medyo nag-ease sila dito, pero dahil sa konting technical issue, konting behind the scenes stuff, makakabalik na tayo. At wala nang delays whatsoever, Sneaky.
Ayun nga,
Sige.
as I give myself a voice again. Pero yun nga, the updated score natin dito is 5-4. And, yun nga, that is where we're at dito sa game natin. To be fair, no, it's not too bad para sa XPT being 4-5 dito sa game natin as we enter yung second half. Honestly, could have asked for a better spot para sa kanila dito. I mean, you have so much leeway to just play itong GR side nyo. REA-7 obviously having to work more para mapanalo yung game na to galing dito sa BL side. But, I mean, if it's anything to do with, no, it will be REA-7 para dito sa kanilang BL. They have the aggression, they have the aim to do so. Problema nga lang, kaya ba nilang hanapin yung mga players na nasa loob ng mga sites natin, kind of peeled back, no? Pwede natin tawagin dito sa compound.
And I think it's also a good take na REA-7 has started ng mas mataas ngayon kasi we kind of had a bit more expectations to look forward, especially sa map pick nila dito. Pero nakikita natin yung mga strengths na as a team. They're very good at trying to rotate at least sa mga times na kailangan nila. Ang ganda ng mid control nila dito, playing around crossfires, playing around yung star power na meron tayo, especially sa kanilang upper. Kaya it's gonna be interesting kung they're gonna keep this consistency going. Kaya I don't know, Sneaky. It's still close for me, but I kind of like the resurgence of energy na nakikita natin from REA-7 right now. If you have any thoughts on XPT, on what they should do ngayon, I think it's also a good time to say that.
Yeah, I think yun nga, no, I don't say na they shouldn't do something similar sa ginawa nga ng REA-7 by going aggressive sa start ng round, try to take map control nga dito galing sa mga PL players, no, but you can do that sparingly siguro dito sa mapa na to, maybe to try and just shock the system ng kanilang kalaban. Pero ayun nga, most of the time dito nga sa compound, you're just gonna be sitting in some of these spots na sobrang hikit kang pasukan ng mga BPL. Hopefully, we do see exactly that, no? A lot less reckless gameplay galing dito sa Xypher.
At the end of the day, diba? Parang sabi natin it's also the hallmark of aggressive players na medyo mataas yung risk kapag gusto mo makakuha ng aggressive fights, pero high risk, high reward nga naman, diba? At the end of the day, kaya at this point, they're thinking about what they should do sa mga 50-50 chances na yun, that at least now REA-7 is able to adapt to it, lalo na sa kung paano nila ina-approach yung ating naging GR side kanina. And now that we have swapped into it, maybe there's a change in pace. Maybe XPT are gonna be the ones na kailangan maging passive or kailangan at least maging aggressive, which is also similar to what has been the calling card para sa REA-7 right now, diba? I just want to see a lot more out of this one kasi we see potential from players like Hex right now who, let's face it, nung first half natin, he has done a lot of damage, and Inverse is also not bad of a sniper ngayon, no? So there's still a lot of things to be worked through. Lalo na si Leo as well. Leo's been popping off so hard so far para sa XPT. He's been really good on these opening duels, and I think it can be an X factor kapag nagkaroon ng confidence ulit yung XPT papunta dito sa ating first map.
For sure. Meron pa naman tayo map number 2 if ever na hindi sila makakahabol in terms of yung momentum dito. But yun nga, so guys, just wait and see kung ano mang mangyayari dito sa mga mapa natin as yun nga, compounds are loaded up. Most likely, yung mga players natin are yun nga, ready dito sa lobby. So we're just waiting for the word for the game to start. Pero yun nga, I mean, what we've seen so far nga dito sa Xypher, just like how I said earlier, pretty impressive. Didn't expect them to start this well, no? Dito sa Impact Tournament natin, pero kagaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, lots of new teams, so it's quite mysterious yung mga circumstances na pwede nga natin makita dito sa tournament natin.
Yeah nga it's just anything can happen, lalo na dito sa tier 2. Everyone wants to go at it into the nitty-gritty or kahit suntukan man lang, kumbaga, di ba? Parang gusto nila na medyo aggressive yung mga fights. That's actually what you want to see kapag nasa viewer side kayo sa broadcast. You want things to be interesting. And sometimes kapag ganun, you gotta show a little bit more than what's expected out of you. So maybe yun yung nangyayari kanina sa XPT nung nag-start tayo doon sa first half natin. Although I do wanna open up the conversation. Tingin mo ba maaabot natin yung Ankara so far with the momentum na meron tayo from yung REA-7 so far? Do you think this is gonna be a sweep? Do you think makakaabot pa tayo dun sa ating third map? Anong tingin mo, Steve?
Map number 2 is gonna be very hard para sa XPT, man, considering na yung REA-7 also has their fair share of experience dun sa mapa ng port. So, they really need to win ito map number 1 na to with all the momentum that they have right now. Malay mo, diba, na pagdating sa port map, there is a bit of tricks up the sleeves dito ng mga Xypher players. From what I've seen naman galing sa mga sniper, which is very important pagdating sa mapa ng port, they're also performing well. So, malay mo, diba, XPT, they just play the usual port, get the good first half going, and then malay mo makapunta nga tayo dito sa Ankara. Pero it's definitely doable, no, as long as all the players are on point.
Definitely. Sa wakas, makikita natin ang live score para sa lahat. It is a 5-4 so far. Almost half to where we are right now. R7 starting now again on that blacklist side. Mukhang split push sila. 2-2-1 setup. See if they can conquer. And push all the way from side, pero Charles and JCD wallbang. And this is why kinukuha ng ibang teams ang M4A1. Sobrang sakit kahit ang dami na walls or kahit gaano ka-thick pa yan, dami dito sa compound map natin.
For sure, Leo, Ephraim already down sa start ng round. Maybe gusto nga nila maging agresibo sa start ng half considering dami pa namang rounds na pwedeng laruin dito pero yun lang, nagkamali sila ng bangga running straight into Charles and itong kay JCD. Jeffrox rocking the LMG curiously actually in this one. So XPT, I mean, A-site na yung gusto nilang stack dito which was the right decision. Inverse having to hit some very nice shots pero wide swing galing dito kay Charles. Jam getting si Hexa immediately. Si Jeffrox lang yung nahulog dito. Kristan, the only one left alive, spotted sa Z immediately. 35 seconds sa C4 pero yun na nga. Pinapalibutan na siya ng mga players dito ng REA-7 pero Kristan gets 2 but it's a bit too late para makagawa dito sa round natin as REA-7 collects another one on the board.
And just as you thought na may chance sana si Kristan para maklatch niya, masyadong marami na kailangan niyang patayin. It was really good as well na nakuha nila yung push all the way from ST. But they got kind of halted even though they had a beautiful double kill. Punta doon sa ating zone A as we got an opening shot kay Ajax. And Inverse did not expect that. An aggressive position para kay Ajax. The solo sniper para sa R7 so far looking really damn good. Laban sa XPT who really has been playing a bit more of a passive setup dito sa kanilang global risk side.
Pero Leo still not deciding to go too forward. No bait position nga to. He's just crouching, trying to make sure na he does have snipe vision ng mga players na nasa loob ng BPLR. Pero 4 versus 5 so far. First pick already. Papunta nga dito sa REA-7. It's not a good sign para sa SPT already losing itong si Inverse. Pero Kristan, kailangan niya ng mag-step up dito. Kailangan niya makakuha kahit ng dalawa. Kristan getting 2 exactly as he needed. Charles at Jam mahuhulog agad para sa REA-7 pero meron ng mid-control ang REA-7 dito. Maghahanap na sila ng butas. Pero si Leo ang spotted down to 10 HP. Wala nang tao sa loob ng B-site actually pag na-discover. This is gonna be bad news pero Jeffrox with the LMG getting sa Ephraim. Hexa will get itong si Jeffrox in return. Ajax with the sniper. Last one left alive. Low na dito si Leo. Not much you can do kung ikaw si Ajax dito but to just try and fight your way out of this position pare.
Solo sniper spotted by Leo. Has to win the gun duel pero in the end, the spray wins it out. Lalo na sa sobrang laki ng pressure na naiwan dahil sa mid-control na tinatry gawin ng R7 as they walk into EA. It was so many bodies. Muntikan pa nga maging graveyard. Papunta doon sa side ng mapa na yun pero in the end, it is still XPT able to win it out dahil sa trading potential nila dito so far. Sa GR. Now you got Charles gonna try to spray on down the same mistake that they have dun sa previous round natin. Ajax with the tower control. Lalo na naka-sniper siya dito. They're just gonna back off for now.
Yeah, Jeffrox still rocking the M60 for reasons unknown pare. Pero BPLR is gonna be occupied. CB has been taken slowly dito sa B-side. Leo, good spot to have. Pero pang mas patan ka dito ni Jam, this is not gonna be good news. Nakatutok si Jam actually right on Leo's position at nakikita na pumapasok yung mga players dito. Hindi nila napansin na nasa likod but then the flick right behind. Leo will only get itong si Jeffrox. Jam makikita sa Ephraim. Maybe a bit too deep para sa mga B-players natin dito. Jam mahuhulog pa nga sa loob ng site. JCD will get Kristan as they do get the C4 pero nasa na iba kayo bang players dito ng REA-7? Kailangan ng kasama dito ni JCD.
Late on the rotate pero at this point, still doable. Hexa try to reconvene back in time kasama dito si Inverse pero he has no idea na nasa tower position lang tong si Ajax and finally he does 2v2 equalizing numbers pero na-plant na yung C4 sa loob ng Zone B as JCD is trying to wait it out by some time. Hexa spots him out. It's gonna be another para kay Hexa. The spray laban sa kanilang retake scenario. Well done para sa XPT. They equalize the numbers.
Yun lang. Not jump checking whatsoever. Itong si JCD na nasa loob ng site, hindi na napansin nakapasok na pala isang player which is what you don't want especially if you're defending itong B-site natin from a retake. So 6-6 na nga score natin dito. XPT tying things up. And just a reminder, sila pa yung may advantage sa side ng mapa na to. So REA-7 once again having to work tooth and nail para makakuha lang ng opening dito sa compound.
Slow and steady wins the race para dito sa parehong teams natin. As XPT has been showing a bit more grit, showing na kaya pa rin nilang lumaban, di ba? Nakakasabay pa sa agresibong R7. Pinapunish sila sa bawat mistake nila, pero it also say the same para sa R7 right now. Also finding weaknesses sa GR side ng XPT as Ajax making a lot of presence. Sa pillar side natin, Ephraim, he's not gonna get baited out. That they even use yung smoke para ma-deny yung vision, ma-deny ng kahit anong impact yung sniper ng R7 as they try to go back towards their default positions.
Yeah, good old standard defense para sa mga players ng XPT. What I expect actually galing dito sa compound. Not much aggression though galing dito sa REA-7, being a lot more careful sa pagkuha nila ng map control. And I do realize na iniwan ng XPT na nakabukas dito yung Store A and meron ng access itong REA-7 pagdating dito sa LA. Problema nga lang, Leo is actually the one defending either galing dito sa 2F and or sa C3. So, it's gonna be a bit rough para sa kanya dito if he doesn't hit the first few shots gamit ito kanyang AK-47 as we will potentially get sprayed down. Leo now expecting the players to turn around the corner. Leo, nakita na yung kanyang ulo dito pero yun lang, nakapasok niya yung apat na players jam. Getting si Leo with the M4. Charles and Ajax, 3 instantly down para sa XPT.
Definitely a good sign moving forward. Planted the C4 as well. And Inverse, sobrang lapit lang. Kala mo shotgun yung ginamit niya dito. All the way from that heaven position as Jeff Frost gonna hold his back again with that MG. Pushes on in, but Jam never expects the shotgun sniper. It's all coming down to Ephraim. 3 versus 1, pasok sa loob ng site, pero si Jeff Frost ang papatay. Si Charles ang kukuha ng final blow. It's another round para sa R7 so far. As it's a very close game, man. Sobrang init talagang. Alam mo, ang R7 ay here to show up to play right now.
Yun nga, R7 though, another point lead para sa kanila. BL side of all things. I mean, you could really see how used to it yung mga players natin dito sa mapa ng compound. As even itong si Jeff Rocks, man, yun nga, kagaya na sinabi ko, the unconventional weapon, the M60 does have a really, hindi ako sure on its wallbang damage actually, considering I barely see it dito sa mga games ko, but I mean, if it's hitting hard para dito kay Jeff Rocks, it's doing something right. Pero XPT, still, standard defense kagaya na sinabi ko sa compound. As long as you stay within your side of the map sa loob ng mga sites and even inside of your base, I think you're gonna be fine. Pero R7 na naman, gusto nila targetin itong LA. Problema nga lang, yung mga ibang miyembro ng R7, they're actually crawling dito sa loob ng B-pillar. So it could be a split happening sa dalawang side ng mapa natin. And one could just be distracting yung mga B-side players the entire time.
Leo's on the same angle na hold niya from the previous round. Did actually a good amount of damage nung pumasok sila all the way from that exit. But so far, yung R7 tamang hold na lang dito habang try nilang lurk ang lahat dito. Perfect flash. Spotted ng tatlo. Leo has to back off now. Uses the smoke. Uses all the utility in the world para ma-delay yung pag-push dito ng R7. As XPT have called the rotation. 4 sa loob ng Zone A. And Hex is also in a very close angle. If he hears one, he will peek dito.
Pero Hexa, good position to be in, pero kailangan niya ng tulong ng kanyang kakampi na nasa loob ng 2F. And dito na si Leo. Hexa, they're just for the bait. JCD, headshot agad dito kay Leo. Wala siya nagawa doon. Hexa going down. JCD with the triple kill. Hindi man lang nakahinga doon yung XPT, pero Inverse sa loob na ng site. C4 hindi pan baba, pero spotted agad si Charles dito sa C3. JCD na lang natitira, 15 seconds. Wala masyadong oras para kumuha ng bomb plant, so kailangan na nilang pumatay dito. 2F also available. Ephraim down to low, pero napatay niya si JCD just in time. And ayun na nga, bumabawi pa yung XPT. 7-7, man. They're keeping it equal, pare.
Definitely, man. Napatay nila yung anchors na kuha pa nga nila si Hexa, who, let's face it, he would have been yung magiging impact player natin sa loob ng Zone A if it was for him, if he was able to hit those shots na mas marami. May hirapan sila makuha side ng mapa na yun, as it will be that alley-oop from Inverse at saka Ephraim, as he will be getting that first blood yet again. It will be inverse para doon sa assist natin. They also spot out Jeff Rocks. Hindi sila kontento sa isa pare. Talagang gusto nila kunin ang lahat na nandito sa loob ng Pillars position.
Pero wala na agad si Ajax sa start ng round. REA-7. A bit injured pero isang magandang pick lang talaga. Maybe dito kay Hexa can make all the difference. Pero yung spot ni Hexa, just right inside the smoke, waiting, and nakita niya kayong dalawang players na pumasok. Charles will only get the trade in right after Kristan. Waiting as well, pero meron pa lalabas na si AJ Frox, nakaharap just in time, pero bulag na bulag siya dahil sa flash. Charles na lang natitira, sprayed down by 2 players. XPT, 2 points in a row para sa kanila dito as they get the 8 and 7. Okay, REA-7, a bit of nervousness siguro galing sa kanila dito. I don't think they have been in this position before against XPT, to be specific, pare.
Definitely not pare. Talagang sa adaptation may difference na. Si Hexa na sobrang init. And don't forget about the other players from XPT right now also doing a really good job securing yung AA natin as they now fight towards the site as Hexa double kill through the smoke. Does not expect si JCD nakapasok sa loob ulit ng zone A but damage done. Kristen will actually try pero si Jeff Ross ang papatay. 2v3. 2F also secured by Inverse right now as R7 medyo held up dito sa loob ng vent side. They even can back off for now lalo na I think they also have C4 but Leo sprayed down si JCD 1v3 this time pero it's not gonna be enough. Si XPT na naman for 2 rounds in a row are on their way papunta sa match point natin.
Yun lang, 9 and 7 dito sa game natin potentially. Pero REA-7, I mean, it's still definitely winnable para sa kanila dito. Problema ka lang, XPT now fully reading ang ano yung gusto nilang gawin dito. I like yung mga ginagawa ng mga ibang players, especially itong si Hexa who's not afraid to stand in front of the smoke, wait for the players to come in an unexpected angle na nakikita natin. As you should dito sa entrance A. At least one player has to go aggressive, pero XPT now fully adjusting, knowing na itong REA-7 kinukuha nila yung store A time and time again. Mag-a-assign na sila ng dalawang player dun. Problema ka lang, medyo mahina yung depensa dito sa B-site. At pag nakot agad itong si Ephraim, this is bad news para sa kanya dito.
Definitely. Talagang sa ganito, kailangan nang ilabas yung medyo unorthodox na plays dito. If you are R7, I think narinig ba ni Ephraim yung mga tao sa loob ng Zone B right now. Kaya si Jam, medyo pinag-iisipan niya yung corner dito. Pero open sila sa medyo crossfire position pero walang kasama tong si Ephraim sa loob ng B-site or B-zone natin. They're waiting it out so far. Maybe possibly waiting for Charles or everybody else from R7 to call upon the push dito.
Yun lang. I mean, Kristan's already arrived dito sa loob ng B-side. Entrance B gonna be occupied. Ephraim, flash is gonna go through. Spotted agad. Pre-fired on. Pero, Kristan actually getting 2. Pero makakuha pa nga siya ng isa pa dito. Tatlo para dito kay Kristan. It's a 2 for 3. And Ajax, with that shot ringing through yung B-side natin. Leo's gonna go down. Hexa na lang natitira. Fighting actively with the sniper na naandito sa EB. Pero Hexa, be very careful about it. Swing gonna go through. Ajax gonna go down. Jeff Rox na lang natitira. Alam na yung presence dito ni Jeff Rox sa baba ng site. Mapapawasa pa siya dito. Hexa getting tapped out. And ayun lang. Hexa getting the 1v2 to finish off itong map number 1 natin, pare.
And don't forget, sobrang tagal na hinintay ng R7 makapasok sa Zone B. Pero at the end of it, si Kristan yung naging Superman sa loob ng side na yun. At dahil dyan ay na-knockdown na yung numbers enough para makuha nila yung set 1 natin sa BO3 natin. Congratulations sa Xypher Pro Team. But the job's not done just yet. Ang compound na yung pinakaunang map pick natin sa ating BO3. Pero medyo interesting no? Nakuha nila yung map pick ng R7, pare.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yun nga, XPT not really expecting much galing sa team na to considering they're one of the newer teams. Pero, I mean, taking a map off of itong R7 and of all the maps na pwedeng kunin nila dito, it is that compound map. Ang ganda ng simulan nila nung BL side pa lang, getting all the way to 4 points. And by the time na nag-roll na yung second half natin dito, medyo nakahabol pa rin yung R7. Pero, unfortunately, medyo napako yung R7 at a certain point. And itong XPT, it was just on them by the time na natapos na yung game natin.
Oo nga eh. Talagang sayang na sayang kasi you could actually see that R7 was sobrang lapit na bago pa man nila nakuha yung control ng game natin so far dito. Pero for this set I think you could say na deserving talaga ng XPT, especially for how well nagkaroon ng firepower yung ibang mga players natin. Yun yung hinihintay natin from them, di ba? Kasi it was still a very close game nung medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting pause, and we kind of had faith na players like Hexa is gonna do well. Si Leo napaka-consistent para naman. Si Inverse has been hitting shots from the sniper as well. But we gotta mention tong si Kristan. Kristan has been super red hot, lalo na nung nagtagal yung laban natin.
For sure. I really like yung rifler combo actually ng XPT dito of itong si Hexa at si Kristan. Think them not being scared, not being afraid na lumaban dito sa mapa natin, standing in front of smokes, placing themselves in very, very tough positions, no? So, I like what I'm seeing. Galing dito sa mga newer teams natin dito. And, I'm excited to see more galing dito sa Xypher Pro Team considering yung map number 2 natin is actually gonna be Port, which is yung map pick nila. Ito na ba yung time na, okay, Xypher is finally gonna show us that, they can also have their fair share of moves pagdating sa mapa na to, not just on the enemy's map pick, pare.
No, sana. At this point, we gotta believe in them. Lalo na they're very talented string of players. I can also see some potential from the likes of Jam. Si JCD, again, we gotta mention him. Talagang super consistent nung nagtagal. I also want to point out yung M60 na medyo interesting para dito kay Jeff Rocks. Really, you have mentioned how rare it is for somebody na lalabas sa dito on a random compound game. But at the end of the day, na-miss kong makapanood ng ganitong crossfire, man. Talagang it's a beautiful way para makapag-start tayo sa Impact Summer season natin.
Yeah, for sure. As we do take a look dito sa ating highlights, man, honestly, lots of good spots galing dito kay Ephraim as well. He's been kind of under the radar para sa ating Xypher team, but he's kind of the guy that's plugging the holes ng kanilang offense potentially. Pero yun nga, also some good spots galing sa REA-7. Jam hitting some nice shots. Itong si JCT hitting some good shots as well. Pero, at the end of the day, the game ended para dito sa XPT and they came out winning on top. Pero, kagaya nga na sinabi ko, man. I mean, so far, I am impressed sa nakikita ko dito sa Xypher considering yung expectations natin on this team. And, I do want to see more, hopefully, dito sa Port. And, hopefully, we do see a fair share of strats galing sa kanila dito kasi I think we barely saw them dito sa compound as it is. You smoke mid, and then you fight, and then whoever just comes out on top sila yung nakakuha ng sites dito. So, let's see what it's like to be in more of an open map, no? Pwede natin tawagan dito.
I guess so. Talagang sa simula pa lang medyo na-treat tayo into somewhat of a banger of a game so far. Sa sobrang nakita natin yung naging talent ng mga sniper natin, yung mga riflers natin, the duo that you mentioned, Stocks JCD, they really have shown a lot of grow habang tumagal dito sa game natin. I just want to see a little bit more siguro pag nagtagal yung ating new series. I really expect that this is going to be a game where R7 are going to put out all the stops ngayon as we now are flashing yung highlights natin. Tapos ito mga kaibigan, sure ako na excited na kayo makita yung second set natin, pero in the end, we gotta give a lot of our congratulations dito sa mga players who deserve it, and I think to say that Xypher Pro Team talaga yung nagpakita ng difference natin, lalo na sa mga execute sila sa loob ng ating zone A, lalo na sa kung paano nila kinontrol yung EA natin. You see some beautiful spray downs from Hexa, who again, really needed a bit more time para uminit nung nagtagal yung laban natin. So, parang yung story natin for today's video ay wag natin i-trust yung parang early game. Parang hayaan muna nating uminit yung mga players natin bago natin makita kung ano yung resulta.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really would have wished na we would have seen yung rounds kagaya ng last round galing nga dito sa REA-7 where they finally get an execute going. Maganda na yung pasok nila sana dun sa loob ng site, but it's just better positioning para sa mga players ng XPT of course. Pero ayun nga, I think that's pretty much it para dito sa map number 1 dito sa series natin. Guys, wag kayong aalis. We're just gonna take a short break. Pagbalik namin, CFS PH Impact 2025 will be there.
At yun nga, nagbabalik ang CFSPH Impact 2025 Summer para dito sa ating pinakong broadcast. Ako pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. It has been one hell of a first set dito sa compound natin between REA-7 at saka ang Xypher Pro Team. At feeling ko may bubuga pa ba ang ating REA-7 right now? I think it's too early to tell or too early to like say na done na sila dun sa game na yun, Sneaky.
Yeah, for sure. Parang may nakita na tayong preview kung anong itsura ng Xypher, no, when it comes to a map that is as GR-sided as itong compound, no. And I would not say na similar itong port at compound, but port is also a more GR-sided maps in very, very different ways. Obviously, ang A-site natin, very, very important sniper position to have, and with both of yung snipers natin, both on the Xypher and the REA-7 side hitting, is just about who is more consistent, no, pagdating sa kanilang mga tira dito. And para naman siguro sa kanilang mid and B defense, whoever just gets the better setup siguro para sa kanilang dalawa. Yeah, CA is obviously a very important spot to get kung pumunta ka kayo dito sa A-site, and if you want to really put the pressure nga dito sa sniper ng mga players nga dito ng either Xypher or REA-7, whoever is playing itong top A natin. And B-site is really just all about setups, pare. How good can your crossfire be between itong LB at Z natin? Kaya nyo bang mag-hold sa site mismo? Can you get those early picks going? Maybe dito sa mid? You know, a lot of things can go on, no, dito sa simula ng port natin.
And parang medyo importante din na mabigyan din ng importansya yung mga link positions natin, yung bodega kumbaga o yung ladder papunta doon sa ating may A zone as well. But it's also gonna be important kung gaano ka-confident yung magiging sniper players natin. This is one of those maps na masabi natin medyo may importansya yung mga long-range weapons natin. I'm thinking about the I'm thinking about yung mga AKs natin na dapat maging accurate at precise, lalo na dito sa mga executes. Pero para dito sa global risk ng sino man ang magsa-start dito, and I think it's gonna be a good thing na they also clean up yung pagiging yung rotation timings nila dito. I just wonder kung may fuel pa ba in the tank yung mga likes natin from Hexa o kaya kung si Leo na again very 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 consistent all throughout dito, but in a BO3 like this that I'd say hindi masyadong importante since first game pa lang naman, and marami ka pang times na pwedeng bumawi, pero maganda din kasi talaga na mag-start kayo ng strong sa first day nyo pa lang dito, diba, Sneaky?
For sure. I mean, first day impressions really, I wouldn't say are everything, no, but it's a good start para sa mga impact teams natin, especially para sa mga impact teams na nanonood actually today, yung mga hindi naglalaro, and they're like, okay, meron palang onting tira pala tong Xypher Pro Team. We cannot underestimate them dito sa sarili nating matches, and ayun nga, no, kinda, I wouldn't say puts a target dito sa back ng Xypher, pero definitely yung mga teams natin dito sa loob ng tournament would be a lot more careful playing against yung team na to, not just yung usual reckless na pace na nakikita natin from the other teams.
Yeah, for sure. Talagang mataas na yung may expectations natin for XPT. They had one heck of a performance doon sa ating first set, pero again, Port is a very different story, and even though it is yung map pick ng XPT actually, sometimes may surprises na mangyayari dito, diba? You could kind of notice that R7 likes to be aggressive pagdating dun sa kanilang global risk side. I just wonder if that's gonna be the same theme for them, even on either sides of this game. Kasi kung sila yung tipong willing to take the first engagements, then it's an easier case for map control kapag lumaban sila on that blacklist side. Pero let's stop the yapping at balik na tayo dito sa ating port map. It is the second set at magsa-start on that blacklist side. JCD gonna try to start things strong, pero hindi tumama ang sniper na dito.
Yeah, XM1104 in the hands of Ephraim dito sa game natin would have been a good first shot for him. Kumakuha na nga dito yung HP player, but unfortunately the distance is a lot farther now para dito sa REA-7. And pansin ko actually, with a bit of a boost going on dito sa Catwalk A, para kay Jeffrox would allow him to surprise one of the players if hindi nga sila nakatingin dito sa taas ng CA. Pero it's just a hold for now. I mean, Jeffrox more concerned dito sa ladder kumbaga dito sa mid.
Gonna try to push that in a little bit too closely now as Jeffrox and possibly itong si Ephraim ang Si Kristan din, pwede din siya yung magiging first engagement natin dito. If ever that they do make a sound, Ajax gonna have to the field day with that as Ephraim's gonna try to slowly keep up once may long A, as it is gonna be that first engagement. Jeff Ross gonna take down tong si Kristan. Ephraim with the trade 1-for-1, and because of that, could possibly get yung long A control, pero they have to be careful of Jet Prox. They have to be careful of Charles as well. That will be another trade papunta dito sa parehong sides natin, as it's a battle for the A side talaga.
Yep, Charles looking to go forward. Actually, naspatan siya dito ni Inverse. So 1-for-1 so far, pero meron ng dalawang players na nasa loob ng A site natin. Hexa with the C4. At ipapaba na nga dito sa A site. 40 seconds on the clock. JCT at Jam medyo malayo pa sa bomb site natin. At kailangan nilang sabay na mag-peek dito, especially up against kay Hexa, who has a really good off angle na pwede niyang kunin dito. Hexa, nakita na nga si Jam JCD right around the corner, naghahanap ng trade dito, pero Hexa backing off just in time. Ephraim with some good shots, and that's good teamwork galing sa XPT, taking a very important first round sa BL pa of all sides. And XPT, man, just like how I said it, they've just been very impressive and have been impressing me so far dito sa games natin.
And we kind of mentioned from the comments as well that they started with a lot of expectations with JCD. Before that, exceeding all of it. 3 kills para sa Sniper. And he wants to go for more right now. May Colt 1 tap papunta dito kay Leo. And he's hungry for more kills. Mukhang on the way towards an ace si JCD. Pero si Inverse na lang yung natitira. Sometimes you cannot underestimate yung nag-iisa. So 1v4 natin, pero spotted na siya agad the JCD. He does get himself the final frag. 1-for-1 at ang R7. Tamang bawiwang laban sa blacklist ng XPT.
Yeah, REA-7. Gandang bawi naman yun. Galing dito kay JCD. 5 kills on the board para sa kanya dito. Gandang bawi from the sniper of R7. Pero titingnan natin, XPT, Kristan doing a bit of parkour dito sa mid para makaabot dito sa CA. Jeff Rox though expecting na may presence na lalabas dito. Ajax watching his behind just in case na merong lumabas dito ng LA. Jeff Rox looking for the peak, pero Jeff Rox with a way better angle kumpara dito kay Hexa. Kristan nagmamandali para kunin yung trade. Pero hindi niya dapat kunin yan, man. That's not a good angle to push. If ever, kung ikaw si Kristan dito, pero Kristan mag-aantay na lang. Alam niyang posibleng magpupush dito si Jeff Rox, maghahanap at napabait pa nga paloob. Kristan getting si Jeff Rox, pero yung damage na nakuha pa rin dito ni Jeff Rox ay napakalaki.
Reject. Lots of pressure. Damage done. Has to be careful. The grenade possibly enough for him, pero naka-reposition na yung kaibigan natin. It's another 1-for-1 trade-off. Long A. So much pressure. So much damage done. Pero dahil dito ay napag-rotate na sila, si Jam spotted na din. Kanina pang naglalurk kahit doon sa compound map natin as he backs up for now para lang magkaroon ng solid defense dito sa B despite that being a 3v3.
Slow crawl towards the site para sa XPT. Papasok na dito si Ephraim. Jam in a very good spot dito sa double box. Has to be careful though. Yung M4, napakasakit yan with the wallbangs. Pero Jam, nandito pa nga sa baba ng B-side. Charles now joining him. Umakit siya dito ng hagdan. And Leo and Ephraim, 2 quick kills in succession pare. Mapapababa na kayo C4 dito. Ajax na lang natitira. At naghahanap ng kahit anong pixel ng kanyang kalaban dito, pero wala siyang mahanap. Ephraim, Leo, Inverse deep into the site. Ajax having to peek out wide para lang makita ng isa. And Inverse will go down. Very nice shot galing kay Ajax, pero yung position dito ni Ephraim at ni Leo, napakahirap i-clear considering na open pa yung plant natin. At si Leo yung una magsiswing kasama niya si Ephraim and making sure that they get that last kill. XPT, another round on the board. R7, di sila pwede magpadulas na baka rounds dito kasi pag mas madami ang nakukuha dito ng BL, it's not gonna be good para sa second half nila pare.
Talaga nga naman. At mukhang babalik muna tayo dito sa mga mukha natin. We have a bit of technical issues at the side of it. Give us a little patience mga kaibigan. I think we need a bit more time para maayos lang ulit dito ang ating stream. Pero rest assured, mabilis lang din naman na-solve kanina. So baka mas mabilis na ngayon sa pagdating dito. So medyo pag-usapan muna natin yung mga nag-transpire sa mga early rounds natin. So we kind of expected a bit more from XPT and they have delivered in a few times so far. Pero I think we were kind of surprised by how well R7 is able to bounce back through, lalo na sa mga times na nagpa-frag tong si JCD. Nakakuha pa nga siya ng 5 kills so far in one round. And I think yun yung nag-revitalize sa energy nila and could possibly even try to stave them off, lalo na dito sa momentum so far na XPT na nanalo nga doon sa previous round natin.
For sure. And the fact na 2-1 yung scoreline na natin dito is not really a sign for good times para dito sa R7. Yun nga, considering, just like I said, this is a GR-sided map, pero XPT, they're making it work dito sa kanilang PL. And yun nga, no, maybe this is the reason why they picked itong Port, no? I mean, Port, granted na it is a GR-sided map, may baka teams pa naman na nakaka-pull off ng baka kanilang baka opensa, no, pagdating sa mapa na to. And it's really impressive that they're pulling this off against R7 considering how experienced the team is. Nakita nila yung lahat na kailangan makita, no, dito sa Port, pero nagugulat pa rin sila dito sa kanilang posisyon.
Kaya nga, no, hindi nakakagulat din na maraming sumusuporta ngayon sa stream natin. Shoutout muna sa mga comments natin. Shoutout sa iba pang mga OGs natin dito. Si Nice Katol, nakita ko kanina na medyo bumibisita sa comments. Kamusta kayo dyan? At sana ay sarap yung upan nyo, Sir Aris or Kuya Aris. Hindi ko alam kung, di ba kasi kami close, di kami nag-uusap eh. Medyo nahihiya pa ako, man.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, man. Don't worry. Do not worry. Pero yun nga, I think pretty big audience actually for the first day of Impact. I think everyone was definitely waiting, no, na merong magkaroon ng CF tournament dito sa Pilipinas. And it is smack dab on a Wednesday, no, and it is pretty impressive, no, maabot tayo ng around 600 and the 700 mark as well. So thank you all CF community for the support dito sa tournament natin. And yeah, I mean, Impact off to a very, very good start, very unexpected start, no, with yung most of yung expectations natin lying on dito sa R7. Yun nga, XPT providing something very impressive dito sa mga laruan natin. I think this is a sign yung mga newer teams natin are now starting to pay attention sa higher level ng CF siguro, and they're now starting to, you know, realize na, oh, if we just play, you know, slightly more properly siguro, but with the same Filipino aggression na nakikita natin, maybe we can make this work. And it's working para nga dito sa XPT, pare.
Totoo. And I think also a good story to come through dito so far sa nating series natin is, I think a lot of criticism, even from the comments, itong kay Ephraim na medyo naging quiet doon sa ating compound map natin. No? Medyo, he was doing a good job, pero medyo naglalag behind in terms of like the stats and all. Ngayon siya naman yung parang bubuhat ngayon. Siya naman yung parang kuya so far sa XPT ngayon. Gumaguide lamang para magkaroon ng mas magandang opening picks at lalo na ding nag-improve yung XPT as we head back into the game dito. It is a 2-1 so far para sa Xypher Pro Team. Ang R7 ay mukhang tamang bawi lang dito. Double OM setup yet again for JCD and Ajax. As Jeff Rox is gonna try to hold down yung long A with a very close angle dito sa may bodega. Flashed on in thanks to the top player. At dahil dyan, ay hindi din sila willing na labanan to from that 8 top position. Alam na nila yon dahil sa position kanina ni Ajax from the previous rounds.
Yeah, 2-1 so far dito sa laruan natin. R7, nakakapit lang dito sa A site. Not much presence actually dito sa top A, pero nagpaparamdam lang naman yung XPT na meron presence dito sa long. And di pa naman gumagalaw masyado yung depensa ng R7. I think they know na capable naman sila kahit dalawa lang yung tao sa A side that they can defend up against a fully fledged push. Pero XPT, they're gonna slow down their pace, kukunin lang nila yung CA, and they're gonna try to investigate kung ano meron nga dito sa House B.
Medyo comfortable positions na kumpara sa kung paano tayo nagsimula dito sa ating port map so far this time around, as I'm gonna try to head on in towards from that LB position habang R7 tamang chilling lang, tamang jump peak, tamang hanap lang ng kahit anong info. Si Jeff Rox naman yung mukhang sasabak laban sa XPT na naghihintay lamang ng utility, smoke on or a flash actually, para may konting space, may konting info na pwedeng mabingwit laban dito na execute ng XPT with 49 seconds to go. A lot of time bought para dito sa blacklist ng XPT so far.
Yeah, pretty slow pace. Medyo napapaisip dito yung R7 kung anong gagawin nila this late in the round. Magpupush pa sila na B or mag-rotate pa sila pabalik ng A side. It seems like it's the latter. Actually, Jeff Rock stuck pa rin dito sa taas ng top A. Charles will be the first one down, pero hindi nila napansin na nandito pa si Jeff Rocks, not knowing that the second player is still there. Si Charles lang pala was there for the bait. JCD getting 2 though in versus Ephraim. Nahulog na nga Hexa. Getting another one. JCD finally falls, pero R7 with a great reaction. Sobrang natagalan yung push ng XPT pamunta dito sa A site. And that is the end of it, pare. And yeah, quick shout out to Kano from Ubek, who's currently watching at the moment. Pero yung nga, R7 though, I mean, back in the fray, pare. Pero hindi sila pwede mag-back and forth dito, man. They need to get like 6-3 or 7-2 na score kasi 2-2 this early in yung map natin is not a sign for a good time. So kailangan i-pick up ng pace ng R7 dito, yung kanilang laro.
Yeah. Medyo similar nga lang though, yung naging setup nila this time around. Passive setup dito. Galing kay Jeff Rox, who, let's face it, needs a little bit more out of this one. But this time, ang XPT ay tamang default positions na lang din ulit, which, to be honest, yun yung naging calling card nila dito. Comparable pace na medyo kailangan nating makasanayan habang tumatagal yung laban natin, as Ajax is gonna try to hold up with the same position that he had from one of the previous rounds. A top with his arm, and JCD gonna start them strong. Laban kay Inverse. Opening pick. 1-0 so far. And R7 they're still keeping themselves going habang hinohold nila yung mga extremities natin so far on the sport map against XPT.
Yun nga. Inverse at the start of the game. Unfortunately, losing his life. But round plays on. Hexa. Spotted na agad. Let's see what they can do. JCD na naman. Making his presence known with that sniper. And Ajax hindi pinadaan si Kristan. So everyone sa XPT just individually running into yung mga snipers dito na R7, which is supposed to be the story dito ng port, considering how good the sniper is dito sa mapa na to, as Charles and Jeff Rox killed the last two players at XPT. Now down a point dito sa game natin, and let's see kung ano yung itsura ng team na to with them trying to catch up dito sa game natin.
No surprise nga naman, di ba? That JCD definitely has become an impact player, and he's not done just yet. Kills up tong si Leo. Also support from Jam, who really is on top of his game right now. Inverse and Ephraim, they're not gonna check him. Hindi nila alam. Nandito pa rin si Jam. At napatay niya yung dalawa pa. Pasok sa loob ng Zone B. He's still gonna keep going. And Inverse have to go for that wall bang. He does so successfully. Pero what a play coming through from the duo. Na inaangkoran ang B-side. Sobrang late ni Charles dito, kaya kailangan niyang mag-reconnect kasama itong si Ajax in the 2 versus 2.
Sniper still in the hands dito ni Ajax. Has been pretty on point, no? Pretty accurate. Pero Charles, naghahanap lang yata ng ibang presence dito sa B-side. Pero iba yung hanap dito ng XPT. Gusto nila lang pumunta dito sa A. Wide swing possibly. Problema nga lang na nandito si Ajax sa bridge, but it's a bad timing para kay Ajax. It's a very, very bad timing para kay Ajax. If he stayed dito sa curve on the bridge position, nakakuha pa siya sana na isa, pero hindi pala. Ajax with a quick scope kay Inverse. Ephraim, last one left alive, and it's an easy finish para dito kay Ajax. 2 and 4 para sa R7. Feeling ko medyo mas nagiging komportable na sila dito sa series natin.
Pwede ba natin pag-usapan yung parang decision-making this time around from R7? It's not the cleanest, pero yung pagdating sa mga napaka-importanting moments, talagang nagde-deliver na ang GR side nila as Ajax picks up that first opening pick. Si Leo na, let's face it, paulit-ulit na siyang napipick off nung nagsastart pa lang yung round. So we're gonna have to look out for him right now. JCD, the second have to get himself that second frag of this team to 3v5 early on. And XPT, they're struggling to even get themselves the trade na, again, naging strength nila nung nasa compound tayo kanina, which has been absent ngayon. Nagsimula tayo support.
Yeah, and Jeff Rox is gonna spray 2 down. I mean, he's gonna get shot in the back of the head, pare. There we go. But I think that's all he can do dito sa game natin. Tragic para sa XPT, honestly, no? Getting a bit reckless dito sa kanilang mid-push, no mid-smokes whatsoever. Gusto nila lang labanan directly itong si JCD and si Ajax, which is not the best idea considering na the sniper gets the better timing dito sa mid. Pero yun nga, XPT, a lot more careful para sa kanila dito. Deciding to toss down some smoke sa mid para makarangan man lang yung mga snipers dito. Pero yun nga, mag-chill muna sila siguro. Just try to get some CA control, try to get some possible B house control very, very soon. Pero yun nga, no, same old, slow pace para dito sa XPT.
Which honestly, comfort na lang siguro yung hinaharap nila dito so far, di ba? Kasi it's the opposite so far sa kung paano natin sila nakikita sa mga executes nila. Talagang all out na ang R7. It's not as aggressive na na-expect natin from sa first set nila, pero itong controlled tempo na medyo nakasanayan na siguro laban sa XPT nakaka-benefit pa nga dito sa GR ng R7 so far as they start again with their default positions. Double A top setup. Si Jam nasa position where pwede siyang makakuha ng info just yet as Inverse starts off strong. That's Ajax down. Laban sa Sniper as Jeff Rocks pushes in, pero despite the flash, Ephraim and Hexa able to get themselves the kill. Si Charles, tinatry niyang labanan lahat. Lahat ng kaya niyang labanan, pero si JCD pa rin ang kukuha ng double kill. 1v2 this time at si Jam na lang ang natitira dito, Sneaky.
Yak lang magtago ni Ephraim dito. Or else the risk is head getting taken off clean. Pero gusto niya mauna dito. Actually, this is a good idea na isend yung lower player up to the front lines. Pero si Inverse masasapatan na nga si Jam dito sa may bodega. Mapapabalik siya ng BR. Onting bawas. Kala kay Ephraim. Just toying with him dito sa bodega natin. Making sure that he doesn't cross for free. Down to low HP. Itong si Jam. If he gets the headshot, he will get the round. Pero yun lang. Inverse falling down from top A at the right place at the right time. And honestly, isa pang point para dito sa XPT and it wouldn't be too bad of a half para sa kanila, men.
Sipin mo, no, gandang utility din para ma-fish out nila yung mga angles noon. Papasok pa lang sila from that long A. And because of the lack of any sort of presence from A top, it made it easier para ma-focusan yung mga nag-hold ng mga short angles natin on the side of 7. So, XPT, definitely the work cut out for them. Talagang kailangan pang igapang yung round na yun. Namuntikan pa nga makakuha ng R7 as Hexa. Mukhang kukuha ng chance dito if Jeff Rocks is not careful. Spots him out. Kita yung shoulder. 1v1. And Jeff Rocks, he's also thinking about yung mga long A players. So it's either he pushes or he tries to fake out tong si Hexa. It will start out with Ajax killing up tong si Leo in the process.
Yeah, another long pick off. Leo already down sa start ng round. Could have actually asked itong si Hexa for a flash para matulungan man na kanilang A offense, pero si Ajax gusto niya humarap. Looking for yung mga unassuming players natin dito sa may bridge, pero mapapababa ng mid itong XPT as the slow pace continues para sa kanila dito. Just making sure that they don't get picked off again. Ajax making his way into yung CA position natin. Uy, pero yun lang. Naspatan si Hexa. Was actually hanging around a bit too long sa entrance ng Catwalk A, and ang ganda ng posisyon ni Jam dito. The pixel boost. Spotting itong si Ephraim. Ayun lang, napatingin sa taas si Ephraim doon, but couldn't save his teammate Inverse in time. Ajax, nakita na si Kristan. Ephraim na lang natitira dito. JCD down to low HP at inahabol na siya ng mga R7 players. Jeff Rocks right behind his teammate Ajax as he trades him out. And R7, another point on the board para sa kanila dito. Not too bad of a half rin para sa R7. It's actually fine. I mean, 6-3. You know, it could have been worse para sa kanila dito. It could have been 5-4, even them, no, being down dito sa half natin. Pero, R7 held on dito sa first half natin, men. Pero, XPT, now it's their turn on their map para mag-play ng depensa sa defensive-sided map. So, tignan natin what they can do.
It's just, I think it's just a great way for them to adapt into what Jam has been doing. I mean, it was that one time lamang na sobra silang naapektuhan doon sa pixel boost up at saka doon sa long A aggression na nakukuha nga naman ng R7 as they actually had a pretty solid defense moving forward nung nag-start sila doon sa GR side natin. So, I think the best thing moving forward para sa XPT is to try to see if they can go back towards their comfortable pace. Maybe play it out for that long A or at least doon sa top A position natin from that sniper, because again, nung mga star players naman nila is I've been doing pretty well doon sa series natin, but for this game medyo nahihirapan dahil like you mentioned, it is a defender-sided map. So konting adjustment lang siguro, maybe pull out tricks of their own habang nag-a-adjust pa lang sila dito as we actually are about to stop yung halftime natin so far, Sneaky.
Yeah, and it's also a challenge para dito sa R7 considering na nasa kanila yung lead. They only need 4 points para tapusin yung game natin dito. So in those 4 rounds, they need to produce immediately, no? Kasi hindi naman pwede na mabigyan mo ng onti momentum itong XPT and then they start, feeling yung mapa natin and they get the lead eventually considering, kaya nga sinabi ko, this is their map pick and that means they're gonna have some really good defenses underway na pwede natin makita. So, para naman sa R7, no, I hope we see the exact same activity galing dito kay JCD at kay Jeff Rocks especially, no, fully knowing what they're capable of pagdating sa mga mapa natin. And ayun nga, maybe itong XPT can also have their fair share of pop-offs as well. Madami naman nakikitang magandang tira galing dito kay Inverse. I do want to see more galing dito kay Leo na medyo nauhuli na siya ng onte kumpara sa kanyang mga teammates dito. So ayun nga, no, maybe bit more spirit siguro galing sa side ng XPT.
Which is also kind of heartbreaking to consider na medyo si Leo pa nga yung parang mataas din yung score or yung stats din from that previous compound game. So maybe some improvement kapag ka nasa global risk na siya ngayon, and for XPT is just gonna be one hell of a good luck ngayon na kailangan nila so far. They're capable players. We've seen time and time again for them to actually come back kapag ka down sila multiple rounds. So maybe this is the same case for them ngayon. At R7 have done a pretty good job actually trying to stave their way dito sa ating global risk, which to be honest is gonna be their comfortable position anyway. So maybe nakapag-prepare lang ng maayos tong R7 for their global risk right now. I think maybe it's gonna be a different case kapag ka nag-start na sila sa blacklist. I think Jam has been doing a good job being that second player. I think JCD is also performing out of expectations ngayon. So we'll see if that will be the same case dito pa lang sa ating magiging second half. Nag-swap na yung sides at ang XPT naman ang kailangang mag-stabilize.
Yes, good old standard defense para dito sa XPT. 2 players sa loob ng LB, 1 player watching that mid position, and 2 players on that ace side. May kasama si Inverse na si Ephraim dito just in case that it is gonna get swarmed. Pero ang ganda ng ginagawa dito din na Jam actually considering that triple mid jump na pwede nilang gawin, pero gagawin yata ng REA-7. It's the classic CA setup. Toss the nades on the top of that ace site. Tapos may lalabas din dito sa long, multiple points of pressure para sa R7 potentially. Double nades gonna come in. JCD barely lang mababawasan dito. Barely grazes him actually. Pero ito na kay R7. Nades are gonna start to go through Jam. Kailangan niya hanapin yung BR player dito agad. Pero meron dalawang player na nasa taas ng top. Ephraim. First one sprayed down. Jam. Nakita na kasi Inverse. Sniper is down para sa XPT. Wala na sa kanila yung control ng ace site. At yun lang. Nabaril pa sa likod ng ulo itong si Hexa. Leo getting the trade. 2 versus 4. Low si JCD. But it does not matter. R7 full control sa ace site.
Literal na ang daming tao doon sa may A-top and they're willing to crumble it all down. So, sobrang daming trades. Hindi mo na maintindihan kung ano nangyayari. Pero at the end of it, it is gonna be R7 because of an aggressive CA push. XPT overwhelmed. At sa retake, kahit may konting chance na sana tong si Leo at saka si Kristen, talagang na-expect mo na from R7 na hindi talaga nila hahayaan na magkaroon ng kahit anong space ang XPT sa retake nila. So it's a 7-3. And back again into the default positions on R7. A bit of a split up from that CA at saka doon sa courtyard.
Yeah, 7-3 so far dito sa laruan natin. Ephraim looking for the CA player pero gusto niya yatang bumalik all the way to that LA position. And dahil nga sa flash na yun, actually na-reveal na maaga yung plano ng XPT and Ephraim could potentially pay with his life pero aware rin yata siya na mayroong presence na nasa loob ng CA. And he is just gonna go all the way back dito sa bodega. Tutulungan niya lang itong si Inverse na mag-hold ng ace side. Pero tamang steady lang naman yung R7 dito. They're just making their presence known across yung map. Making sure na hindi alam ng XPT kung ano kailangan nilang gawin dito.
Daming tao talaga doon sa may CA yet again. Seemingly similar sa kung naging setup nila doon sa previous round natin. I'm seeing kung ipapanguna nila tong si Jam dahil low HP siya para mas madaling i-trade o kaya hahayaan na lang nila tong si JCD at nga si Jeff Rocks na nakauna dito for that first opening pick. Pero ang dami pa nilang time para makapag-consider, makapag-isip kung ano yung gagawin. There's no time at all para makapag-rush dahil may 1 minute pa tayo for the side of R7. Inverse. He will be an important player dito kapag pumasok na sila all the way from long A. Jam gonna try to wait it out, and with the flashes, with the smoke as well, looks like Inverse is gonna be in a lot of trouble. They're pushing onto him as Charles. Starting strong with the first blood and Charles with a second frag despite the flash, despite everything XPT is throwing at him. Nakahabol, nakapasok ang R7 sa loob na naman ng A-top site.
Yeah, maybe Leo not covering his teammate dun sa angatan ng A-site. Jeffrox getting itong si Kristan Hexa all the way from long. Making his presence known. 2v2 is actually winnable para sa kanila dito. Hexa still on full HP pero tatapusin na nga ni Leo. Or tatapusin na ni Jeffrox ang buhay ni Leo dito. Hexa all the way in that LA position. Tamang crossfire na lang. 12 seconds left. Spotted si Jeffrox sa bodega. Tatapusin na lang ba dito? Right here, right now. 5 seconds left. Wala nang oras para mag-defuse pero hindi naman siya makaka-defuse as Charles does get the last kill. At 8-3, REA-7. This is what I was talking about. Na picking port against REA-7 is a brave decision pare, and unfortunately hindi nag-pay off para sa XPT.
Baka conversation lang yan with comfort versus yung comfort ng opponent mo, diba? So maybe they're thinking about that, but Kristan's not thinking about anything other than killing them. Laban dito kay JCD, he even gets a double kill, A3. Tama dito, side ng XPT, 3 kills in a blink of an eye. R7 medyo nag-slow down yung pace, a double for Jeffrox. And this time as well, XPT are doing everything that they can para makapag-responde pero nandito pa yung flank ni Ephraim 1v1 as up against Jeffrox right now. He has to go back to cover 1v1 and it's gonna be the headshot. The A1s, excuse me, para makapanalo ang XPT. Finally, some breathing room para magkaroon sila ng panalo ulit.
Yeah, di pa tapos yung laban dito. XPT definitely still winnable from their side. But it has to be a perfect GR para sa kanila dito. Hexa, di nakatingin sa kanyang taas. Spotting itong si Jam. Good first shot. Getting JCD. Spray control. Hindi niya makukuha si Charles. Pero si Ephraim pala makakatapos sa kanya. So it's a 1-for-3. It's actually a 2-for-3 kung isasama mo dito yung kill ni Jeffrox. Pero Ajax, very brave sa long inverse. Hindi siya makaka-react just in time. Pero Ajax nakadaan na nga dito sa A-site. C4 nasa gitna pa ng kawalan. Hindi pa talaga sure kung alam ng XPT na hulog yung C4 dito sa loob. Ephraim with the help of his teammate na dito sa bridge finally takes down itong si Ajax. Jeffrox na lang natitira. Tapos what he can do, spotted by Ephraim sa mid. Jeffrox though, cannot underestimate this man. Not at all, pero hinahabol na nga siya dito ni Inverse. Jeffrox looking right behind him. Shots are off, pero meron din lilikod sa kanya dito sa HP. Leo does get the better of Jeffrox pare. 8-5, XPT lumalaban pa nga.
I think dito na pumapasok yung term na late bloomers para sa XPT na ngayon no? Habang tumatagal, mukhang nag-age sila like fine wine. Lumalaban pa rin habang di pa tapos ang laro into this 8-5 scoreline despite R7 showing up big sa lahat ng mga naging execute sila from the early stages of this first half. Now you see that adaptation to slowly creep in from XPT. To see Hexa and Ephraim actually doing their best work. Kasama tong si Kristan to actually get a lot of impact back into the round with that mid-control happening. But Ephraim, nakaamoy, nakita at napatay pa si Jam despite him being covered up by that box. A1 ang kalaban na dito mga kaibigan. It will be another one. Galing dito kay Ephraim. Talagang double kill thanks to that A1. How many times will we see wallbangs all throughout despite this?
Yun nga, it's getting repetitive para dito sa R7. Yung kanilang galawan dito sa A-side. It's always 3 taking itong CA and 1 dito sa LA. And I think nalaman na ng XPT how to counter this A-side take with 3 players already down. R7 down to Jeffrox at kay Ajax para ibalik yung match point para sa kanila dito. Pero si Kristan, very good hold dito sa double doors. Pero yun lang, uuunahan pa nga siya dito ni Jeffrox. Ajax spotted dito sa HP Inverse with his own sniper. Naghahanap pa na nga sila dito sa B-site. Inverse, good punish on the miss dito ni Ajax. Jeffrox, shot misses on him pare. 7 HP na lang dito sa Inverse. Leo down to low HP as well. Nagsama na lahat ng miyembro ng XPT sa loob ng B-site and they swing him together. 8-6 XPT. Humahabol pa nga dito sa port.
Tumatagal at nagiging precise ang lahat ng mga naglalaro sa XPT, sa GR. Talagang slowly and surely putting up their numbers doon sa post-plant natin as Kristan will assist ang pagpatay kay Ajax. Si Inverse ang kukuha ng first blood natin. Talagang that sniper is doing a good job of neutralizing the threat right now. Si Ajax na sobrang instrumental sa ating naging first half. Slowly and surely na kikita na yung weakness. So far sa blacklist side ng R7, it's always been yung bridge peak all the way from that top position, as now we see that opportunity for XPT and a chance to shine para kay Ephraim at Leo, who, let's face it, kailangan na ng bumawi pagkatapos ng first half performance na dito so far, Sneaky.
Ayun na nga. Sniper down para dito sa R7, Ajax. Out of the picture already, pero alam ba nila na nandito si Kristan sa taas? Kristan not reacting whatsoever, letting Hexa distract the entire team, letting them get it. Pero si Jam does still peek itong si Kristan, though down to 71 HP at pakakaalis pa nga siya galing sa house speed just in time, turning into a 3v5. As 3, kailangan pumasok ng R7 dito sa B. Kulang yung kanilang numbers, pero meron pa naman silang utility na pwede gamitin dito.
In the back of their heads, iniisip nila kung baka may pixel boost up na ulit, pero because of the presence sa loob ng 2F na yun, baka hindi na kailangan. Si Leo, sinispray na lang. Konting-konti na lang. Kapiranggot na lang yung damage done. Patay na sana tong si JCD, pero yung defense all the way from Zone B looks like it's enough. Hexa and Kristan got all the picks that they need at nilabas pa nga yung Colt para mapatay si JCD na kanina pang low on HP. It's an 8-7 so far. That is 16 rounds in succession. So far, habang tumatagal, umiinit at nagiging maganda yung aim ng XPT. The decision making on point. And thanks to Kristan and Hexa, nagkakaroon na ng damage ang global risk nila.
Yeah, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. I mean, you really have to build a really big lead first half pa lang, habang nasa GR pa lang kayo, kasi ito ngayon pwede mangyari. The GR getting more rounds on the board than you expect. R7 only getting 2 so far. XPT medyo nakahabol na nga dito sa game natin. Still, bog standard defense para sa XPT. 1 player sa bridge, 1 player sa bodega, 1 player on the boxes right below itong A site natin. Pero inverse na naman, getting itong si Jeffrox. And Jeffrox, unfortunately, kind of forgetting yung fence angle right on the right side ng EB that you can see all the way into court. And Jam, I think na-spot yung ulo dun ni Jam, so this is not gonna be a safe execute para sa R7. You're gonna need to hit all the shots that you need to hit. Papapalabas na nga dito si Ephraim. Ephraim with the wall bang, not hitting just in time. Low dito si Charles, half HP si Jam. Dadaan na sila papunta dito na ace site. Leo with a hell of a responsibility. Charles mahulog dahil sa HE na JCD na andito na sa top 8. Jam with the jumping spray. Gamit yung kanyang M4, pero gusto pa lumaban dito ni Kristan at Hexa. Ajax na lang natitira gamit ang kanyang Colt. Nagpalit sa AK pero hindi na nakasa. And R7 might be in trouble dito, pare. Xypher Pro Team on a comeback streak dito sa port.
And again, they finally break through. Sana laban kay Ephraim, and it would have been an opening for R7, pero at the end of it, sa retake at saka sa defense, nagsa-stand strong ang XPT. Kristan and Leo always at the right place at the right time. And taking them down one by one has been crucial to get the 8-8. At yung pinakaunang first pick kay Jeffrox, instrumental kasi siya yung nagta-top frag sa team niya in the second half. Pero malay mo ay mag-iba na naman yung ihip ng hangin para sa blacklist side ng R7 so far, as they have a tri-stack doon sa loob ng mid. Bridge side already in full control of them, pero XPT has other plans. Si Ephraim mukhang papatayin pa ito, pero si Charles ready for that shot, and Ajax even able to capitalize on that position as well. It's a 3v5. Ajax has a field day, has an opportunity, pero nandito pa rin si Inverse, dead to rights, dead on arrival. 2v5. Kailangan mag-reset ang parehong players from XPT, pero look at the flank from Kristan right now, Siki.
Yeah, I do understand the perspective dito ng XPT wanting to end things right then and there, pero that's not the way that they won yung mga ibang mga rounds natin dito. So this is gonna be big trouble if ever hindi ka ma-hold ni Hexa ang A site na to, as he tries to go back dito sa may hagdan. Top A is gonna be his position to defend from. Surrounded na ang kanyang position dito. Kristan mahuhulog. Hexa will not do much more. 9-8 XPT. Maybe getting a bit too aggressive, no? dito sa mapa natin. And just like I said, that's not how they won yung kanilang mga rounds dito. They won by their really, really good defense and really, really good holds, and then trying to go aggressive this late dito sa game natin. I mean, I do understand it na gusto niyong kulatin dito yung R7, but there's no need for it.
Definitely not, man. Talagang giving an inch na agad dito sa R7 nung ang XPT kanina pang komportable sana yung mga pushes ni Ephraim all the way towards that house side, kind of giving them a bit more of that comfortability na medyo hinahanap-hanap ng R7 ng sobrang tagal, as they do have Charles and Jam, who really has been instrumental sa pagkuha nila ng 9th round win dito, as Jam trying to get himself on top doon sa may CA. At yung pinaka parang stable force dito ay yung duo nila doon sa loob ng A-zone position, si Ephraim at saka si Inverse on top, na matatry na magkaroon ng kahit anong stability dito laban sa R7, who really are just waiting out the time, trying to talk it out kung saan sila manggagaling ngayon.
We got R7 slowing down their pace as well. Classic CA positioning na nakikita natin. And Jeffrock's actually wanting to disturb itong B side, maybe trying to track as much GR players papasok nga dito sa B as much as possible. And makakuha ba siya ng rotation? Mukhang hindi. Jeffrock's madatapa na lang dito sa House B as they exit dito sa A side, and they actually have no idea na nakadaan na dito ang R7. It's a really good fake towards B. Jeffrock's, despite dying immediately, that one flash na pa-rotate agad yung mga players ng XPT dahil doon. 35 seconds na lang dito sa bomba natin. Low HP dito si Charles. Leo, big swing. Charles goes down. JCD with the headshot dito kay Hexa. Leo, gusto umakyat, gusto pumatay, pero nawalan pa nga ng bala dito. The Colt not gonna be enough as Jam finishes itong si Kristan, and it's a 10-8. Sa huli pa nga nagkamali dito ang members ng XPT.
Kailangan pa ng konting comeback story para malaman kung papasok tayo sa Ankara, at ang comeback story ay makukuha nga natin na 1-1 pa nga ng REA-7 ang ating series so far, when it was also a really interesting choice nga naman na sinasabi mo na napick nga nila yung map na port against them, considering their history, considering their experience. They know how to play this map very well, and I think you gotta give mention to the fact that they needed to come back from that with the amount of rounds that they have won. Pero I like the grit that we saw from XPT right there. Despite them having the control map, so medyo na-expect natin na magiging close nga ng laban, yung mental fortitude from R7 yung kailangan natin pag-usapan. I think they've done a really good job of finding a way to get everybody back on board dito sa ating port map.
Yeah, for sure. I think Port is a very important map para dito sa R7 to win on, especially just to remind everyone na, we are also good dito sa mapa na to. It is also one of our main maps. But good effort, no, galing dito sa XPT. Sadyang naging excited lang sila nung last 2 rounds natin. Yun nga, especially going into yung 8-8 na scoreline natin around, which I'm still confused why they did decide to push itong long. Just like I said, I understand it kasi gusto nga nilang tapusin yung game agad, but R7 read that like a book, and they just carried the momentum the last 2 rounds natin dito sa game.
Yeah. I think it's also important to take note yung mga duo setups natin from that zone A position. I think a lot of times nung nasa global risk yung players natin on XPT, they had a good game plan moving into it. Ephraim at saka si Leo. Sometimes Ephraim at saka yung si Inverse, if he wanted to play that sniper dun sa taas, no? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But most of the rounds doon sa A-top tayo nakakuha ng napakagandang impact. It's just that by the end of it, R7 was able to kind of come back into it. Talagang nung nagkaroon sila ng parang confidence moving forward, I think you saw a lot come out from Jeffrock's. Talagang a very consistent player in his own right. Pero you could say the same from everybody. I think everybody from R7 has done a really good job stabilizing the force.
Oh, I mean, it's just tragic, no? Para dito sa Xypher, 2 more rounds and they would have actually gotten, a very good sweep, no, to end the day. Pero ang karna kaya mapa natin dito, R7, I mean, judging from their experience sa mapa na yun, I think they're gonna do fine. XPT still a mystery para sa akin dito, but Ankara is an open book, pare. Anything can happen.
Definitely. And I think it's gonna be a one hell of a read pagdating doon sa ating set 3. Pero until then, magbe-break muna ang CFS PH Impact 2025 sa summer edition natin. Ako pa si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Hindi pa tapos ang laban, magbabalik ang broadcast. Saktong-sakto, di ba mga kaibigan? Mainit na first game para sa napakainit na tournament natin dito sa CFS PH Impact Summer 2025. Ang pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. It has been a blast casting yung ating naging first 2 sets. Pero hindi pa tapos ang laban. Nakapag set number 3 pa ang R7 laban sa Xypher Pro Team. Sa Ankara na tayo nadaloy at I think I want to know kung ano yung may expect mo dito, Sneaky. Kasi parang medyo na-expect ng set 3 pero hindi ko na-expect na ganito yung making way na mapunta natin to.
Yeah, for sure. I think being happy that we landed dito sa Ankara, obviously REA-7 with a bit more of a comeback. Dito sa second na mapa natin, showing what they can do, especially dun sa last 2 rounds. Granted, Xypher, no, malapit na silang makabalik dito sa game natin considering nasa kanila pa yung GR side. But I mean, 2 very well played rounds later and naandito na nga tayo sa ating map number 3. Fortunately para sa dalawang teams natin, Ankara is a lot more equal na mapa. Kumbaga, it's a lot more open para sa mga teams natin. It's not just GR side dominating everything. No, this is really where the test of skill starts para sa mga teams natin, especially Ankara, a map where you can pull a lot of things off bilang BL at GR, aggressive man or passive. So whoever just has the better game, man, will definitely get this. Pero tingnan natin, man. I feel like both of them have equal chances naman para dito sa map 3 from what I've seen, pare.
Tingin ko din naman, sa playstyle nila pareho ay nagsusut na din naman kung magiging aggressive ka katulad ng R7 or kung magiging passive ka at medyo slow tempo katulad ng Xypher Pro Team nga naman, diba? So medyo bagay ito sa kahit sino. May dalawang mid na pwede kang makapunta, makapasok or meron ka ding chance na pwede makapag-execute ka na mabilisan doon sa loob ng Site B as well. So, a lot of opportunity para makita natin kung yun nga ang magiging case para dito sa pareho natin kupunan on this first game. But, alam mo, bibigyan kita ng opportunity, right, Sneaky? Kasi na-predict natin kanina na either magiging 2-1 siya or 2-0 siya in favor of, I believe, R7. So, do you really think na magiging tama tayo sa hula natin or this because of their performance nung game 1? Gusto mo bang i-change yung mind mo ngayon?
Not really. Sa nakikita ko naman para dito sa Xypher, don't get me wrong, no, magaling na team yung Xypher talaga. They just have some bad habits na they need to eliminate sa mga ibang laruan nila. But, you know, they're on their way there, no? Possibly beating teams like itong R7. But from what I've seen naman, galing dito sa R7 individually, no, everyone's hitting their shots, everyone's making their own plays. And considering yung experience ng team na to, when it comes to map number 3, then yeah, I have to give it to them pare na they're most likely gonna win yung map, pero hindi ko pa masasabi na XPT will get destroyed, no, dito sa Ankara. Pili ko may chance rin pa rin sila manalo dito. Yeah. It's gonna be do or die para sa pareho nating teams dito sa pinakauna nating game of Impact Summer. So brace yourselves mga kaibigan. Sana ay nakakain na kayo. Sana may tubig kayo kasi medyo mainit yung ating naging pinakaunang game. R7 able to find themselves the winning formula doon sa ating second set, doon sa ating port map. And it's all thanks to their blacklist side as well. Kita mo, they had to claw their way, or actually, ang XPT had to claw their way back. But eventually, R7 has won with their lead. And it is going to be that third set. Ankara to start things off. It will be XPT on GR. As they start things off with the push all the way from that underpass position. Yun nga. I think it's actually R7 on GR here, pare. We just have the scoreboard flip. Pero XPT, you know, good old classic, no? I feel like alam nila yung R7, a bit braver than most teams na labanan itong mid-control and they decided to peel back, stay at the steps. Don't want to get too aggressive. I don't know what's going on with yung tatlong players not moving. So, and yeah, maybe they're just trying to buy time so they can get something going dito sa round. But they haven't called anything yet. So, yun nga, tamang antayan lang muna tayo dito.
Yeah, tamang chill lang. Tamang kamustahan lang muna para sa mga tao sa comment section natin. Habang meron ding presence all the way from Ajax as they start things strong with that shot all the way towards Ephraim. First blood found And it's not a good look, especially ngayon na nasa sa attacking side na tayo ngayon ng XPT, as this slow tempo and then giving yung first blood din nyo is not gonna be a really good sign for them moving forward. Lalo na si Ephraim pa to, one of their more calculated players inside of XPT right now, as it's gonna be 1 minute on the clock. Leo, titingnan niya kung may mapapatay siya dito sa ating vent side, pero at the end of it, hindi naman niya kailangan sobrang mag-over-aggress, as it's gonna be inverse with the sniper spots out Jeff Rocks, especially doon sa may side ng battery's position.
There we go, Christian, or Kristan. Moving forward, TB position gonna be taken, pero masaspatan siya dito ni Ajax on the cross. 3 players left. Nandito sa loob ng RS. Good headshot galing kay Jeff Rocks. Could possibly get the second. Yes, he does. At si Inverse na lang natitira with Charles hunting him down. R7 with a good first round on the board. You know, nothing too complicated para sa kanila dito. Kinuha lang nila yung first pick. Went back onto the sites and disrespected yung possible push dito ng XPT.
Just a really good sign moving forward para sa R7. You see that Ajax was also willing to take that first fight moving forward towards that mid position, pero kind of interesting that nobody from XPT nakakuha ng patay kahit saan, kahit sino sa kanila so far. So maybe kailangan nilang i-adjust yung timing at yung pace nila dito, especially with that crawl papunta doon sa may mid-side position, as it's gonna be that second round. Ajax gonna have to do up against Ephraim. Does get himself some damage done, pero it will be JCD to get that first opening pick. Inverse also trading 1-for-1. Yup, the sniper's doing a lot of work this time as Charles also pops in from the door. Kills off si Tristan as well. Naging 3v3 pa nga, lalo na't nakapag-peek pa nga tong si Hexa. Surprises tong si Ajax. At mukhang walang snipers ang magkakaroon ng presensya sa loob ng Ankara map so far in this round, Sneaky.
Yeah, it's a bit late to peek exactly at that position kung ikaw si Ajax, and he does pay dearly for it. Pero meron pa naman presence na nasa loob ng A side. They just forgo mid control instead. And si Charles, di siya pwede mapakita dito second mid. Inverse with the sniper. Locked on in dito sa RS. Pero gagawin ni Jam, actually, he is gonna reconvene with his teammates via that CA position. Mahanap kaya nila si Inverse dito. And Jeff Rocks, once he jumps, he's gonna realize na nandito pa si Inverse sa loob ng hotel. Pero mapapatingin si Jam pabalik dito ng LA. It's gonna go through. Tamang iwas lang naman, and Inverse is gonna join his team. Problema nga lang, can they clear etong si Jam galing sa CA? But Jam having no idea. Bad timing para sa kanya dito. And Hexa spotted sa baba ng vents. Ephraim almost getting itong si Jam, pero kailangan nila bumalik agad.
30 seconds. And I believe yung C4 ay nandun pa lang sa may A-zone position. Hexa also assist tong si Inverse with that goal. Patay pa si Jam. And napatay pa nga nitong si Inverse. It's all coming down to the 1v2. Ephraim nasa kanya yung C4, kaya may chance siya makalipat doon sa loob ng A-zone. Pero na-spot na siya agad ni Charles. 10 seconds to rotate. Oh, na-stuck pa nga siya. Nasa loob pa ng spawn ng RS so far ng kalaban. It will be 5 seconds to go. Ephraim has no time unless he kills up tong si Charles. Hindi expected yung position na dito. Kaya naging double wins pa dito ang R7. The double commitment doon sa may B-zone has given them a lifeline dito sa round natin. It is gonna be that second round para sa R7.
Yeah, medyo naging hectic yung start ng laruan. Not gonna lie. Kills, bullets flying all over the place. But in that 3v3, very well-played repositioning. Galing dito kay Jam to find his way into that catwalk A position. And finding those kills, finding that just information, pare. And a living to tell the tale as well. Just in time to get information dito kay Inverse that is still in that second mid position. So well played galing sa R7 so far. And look at this deep defense along A. I mean, they can confirm early na wala nang paparating dito sa A site and pwede nang lumipat yung iba dito sa B.
On towards bypass we go. Si Ajax, konti na lang makuha niya sana yung timing on the peak this time around. Lots of damage done kay Leo. Spotted thanks to the rifling. And a lot of noise made by Ajax. That nade could kill him, pero actually gonna go back doon sa bypass and try to see if they can bait the rotation out yet again. Pero still, despite the smoke, pupush pa rin sila dito. Ajax gonna kill off tong si Leo. Finally getting some damage done. 1-for-1 with Hexa. Also killing Ajax in the process. 4v4. Zone B still in a bit of a hectic spot so far as Charles hindi pa siya checked. Pwede pa rin siyang makapagpatay. Trying to plant the bomb down and they do. He picks them off. At munti ka may damage done, but at the end of it, it's still gonna be XPT letting JCD down into the 1v3 this time.
Yun lang, napakalayo pa ni JCD dito. There's already 2 players coming in from the tunnel speed position. Narinig yung pagpulot ng kanyang M4 dito. Kristan waiting for the swing, pero si Ephraim na lang pala makakakuha dun. 2-1, really good retake defense galing sa XPT despite yung fast rotation ng R7 to go through that mid control all the way into tunnel speed, but unfortunately, hindi nga nila nakuha yung kills just in time. Only the damage.
Muntikan pa nga no? But at the end of it, it was their good decision making that made the difference all throughout. Si Ajax spotted, pero hindi niya na-expect si Ephraim na mag-swing ng ganyang kabilis lamang. It will be that headshot. 1-0. Good start para sa XPT. Si Jeff Rocks mukhang naghahanap ng kapalit, naghahanap ng katrade dito. Pero hindi sila magta-try dito sa hotel stairs natin, as it will give an opportunity for R7 to capitalize. It will be 1-0 so far. At yung XPT given a gift, si Ajax na, again, I've been talking about this guy. He's been dealing some damage all throughout yung series, and the fact that they lock him out ng gantong kaaga is a good sign papunta dito sa round natin for XPT.
Yeah, a bit of an A push possibly happening para sa XPT. Setup galing sa yellow for that flash. Rest of it is gonna be smokes. Let's see, JCD. Na nga sa Vents, getting that first kill dito kay Leo. Repeat. Only getting the leg kay Hexa. Pero kailangan nila lumbas dito. EA gonna be coming in. Hexa getting the swing. Jam going down as well. I would have wished that si JCD would have backed off all the way, but he felt like he was stuck dito sa may Vents position natin. Low dito si Hexa. Retake definitely doable as 38 seconds. Splatter on the screen. Pero Charles papasok pa nga paloob ng site. Not gonna have a good time. Jeff Rocks with the only kill dito kay Hexa. And XPT back on the board dito sa game natin, and R7 the one this time struggling para i-defend yung mga sites natin.
Sayang no? Kasi kung tama yung position flash dito, or if he actually waited a little bit longer, then he would have actually been ahead of it. Pero at the end of it, Inverse and Ajax are happy to take the 1-4-1 setup. Hotel in full control of the sniper of R7. Trying to trade blow for blow as Jeff Rocks again tried to be as flexible as he can be. Spots out one, pero will he expect Kristan to be with Inverse right now? Doesn't matter, as Ajax will get another one on the other side of the map. Inverse also getting another. XPT is clawing back into this game so far. Pero ang problema nga lang, hindi sila sure kung saan yung anchoring position ng R7. They don't even know na. Bukas na bukas yung bisig. And then Hexa also with a nice line of shot papunta kay Ajax as well. That is crucial para sa blacklist side ng XPT.
Yeah, mapapatapon na yung mga players papunta nga dito ng B-site. Nasa Ares na dito si Charles CA. Ang posisyon dito ni Jam. Pero alam ba ni Jam na posible pang iikot ang XPT pabalik nga dito sa site. Pero yun lang, siya pa kayo una masaspatan ni Hexa dito. Only getting some damage in. 48 HP. AK in his hands. Can get the headshot going, pero Hexa tatapusin na lang dito si Jam. 50 HP na rin siya doon. Charles na lang natitira in a 1v3. Full set of nades for the sole player ng R7 dito. And as Kristan realizes na walang nakatayo dito sa top A, he is just gonna put that C4 down.
Far away from home nga naman si Charles. As he walked back in, kitang-kita si Hexa. Not a lot of damage. Not even a hint of damage para kay Charles, pero it will be Inverse with a blinded shot laling sa kanyang sniper. So it will be another round para black the side ng XPT yet again. Talagang napaka-crucial yung parang doubling up ni Kristan at saka si Inverse no? Para ma-trade off one by one at para makakuha ng advantageous picks laban sa R7 right now, who are gonna go back to aggressive positions right here. Jam, not expected, pero si JCD ang una makakuha ng first blood dito.
And I like yung use of the sniper. Kali dito kay JCD, nagpapasama siya sa kanyang teammate so he can peek aggressively. If he does miss, meron pa naman siyang rifle na nasa harap niya just in case. So Ephraim gonna go down at the start. Leo struggle still continuing dito sa Ankara map natin, but he's been picked up by the rest of the squad. So let's see kung ayong kayang gawin ng XPT dito sa round. So tamang nades lang siguro dito sa A site. Realistically, wala pa naman silang control Pagdating sa mapa natin, no hotel control, no long control, or at least barely any A control para sa kanila dito. Pero mapapabalik sila sa CA. So B-split pa ba? Posible ang mangyayari dito with a late push galing kay Inverse? That's looking likely.
Pwede pa nga no? Jam's gonna have to be that first contact kung yun nga yung magiging plano nila all the way from that CA push to tower. Pero they have a lot of time to consider nga naman yun yung gagawin nila dito. So, still have a sniper. They still have... Actually, they don't have anybody to actually snipe on down for XPT. So, 1 minute on the clock. Push on in yet again. Mukhang magko-commit sila all the way towards tower. Pero will be against Hexa. Jam gonna have to go back to safety. Gives up the space for the team. And maybe even play for that RS position. They get themselves the pick-off, but Hexa and Leo is gonna have to get themselves to si Jam. That's another for Kristan as well. They push on in
C4.
towards a bypass position, and that's also C4, so they have to pick up that objective. Pero may crossfire position pa nga ang mga players natin on R7 unless Leo can have something to say as Inverse spots out si Charles very close to corner, pero he will still win out the fight. 1v1, and it will be Jeff Rocks to win it out with a double kill. They almost equalize the numbers, but by the end of it, it still is going to be R7 winning out the round.
Yep, yan na nga yung Jeff Rocks na inaantay natin. Actually holding an AK-47 this time. Getting that 1v1 clutch para sa R7. That is gonna send some energy back in their way. And you can feel the momentum shifting pabalik nga dito sa R7 slowly. As every single fight na gusto nilang kunin dito, napapanalo nila, even the ones that are pretty hard to win. So, ano naman yung gustong gawin ng XPT dito? The Tunnel B control temporarily siguro dito sa round para lang mahanap dito si Ajax. Pero, nagrepo na nga dito yung sniper ng R7. He's now all the way in high mid. Actually, in 2F dito sa may mid position natin.
Just gonna crawl up yet again. And I think nagiging crutch na yung naging position from doon sa bypass ang XPT so far, and it does give them somewhat of a success, pero R7 are kind of privy to it as they're thinking about both possibilities right now, either doon sa exit o kaya possibly push on in towards that bypass position. As Jeff Rocks mukhang mahihirapan, kita yung helmet at mukhang hindi pa niya na-adjust yung shot. Ajax gonna get himself the 1-for-1 as the entry comes forward all towards zone B position as it's a 4v4. They're trying to cross over kasi alam nilang nakahawak dito yung up or yung sniper as they plant the bomb down, but Ajax still gotta get himself another.
Oh, per frame. Yun lang. JCD still gets the kill gamit ng kanyang cold. So, low HP pa naman dito si Charles. Pero JCD with the swing. One tap dito kay Kristan. And ito na yung sinasabi ko. The momentum is slowly shifting. Papunta nga dito sa R7. And they are now starting to feel out yung game. JCD with 7, Ajax with 7, and Jeff Rocks with 6. At si Jam at si Charles maghahabol na lang dito sa game natin. Pero granted, ang ganda naman yung laruan dito ni Inverse with 8 leading the charge. Pero the rest of the squad really has to pick up the pace. Pero R7 gusto nila maging agresibo dito sa second mid. Looking for the opener dito kay Ephraim. Jam kasama ang kanyang teammate na naka-sniper does get taken down. Charles will get taken down as well. So 2 immediately down. Pero bawas na agad dito si Ephraim. It's basically a 3v3. Now it's a 3v3.
Oo nga eh. Ganun kabilis lamang yung trade yet again. Ajax also willing to push up doon sa Vents position natin. Pero again, yung adaptation ng XPT dito, that's the second time na nag-aggress si Jam all the way towards yung doors natin. Pero sa second time in a row, nakapag-adapt na agad nung si Ephraim. Nag-call pa nga ng support from Leo as again, it's another aggress papunta doon sa Meister's position as they kill out nung si Ajax despite him being behind the smoke. Naging 3v2 pa nga. And a lot of time para makapag-adapt yung R7 so far, pero I think Leo has heard yung sound cue para kay Jeff Rocks, who has to go back to safety. He has to be aware about Leo. He pushes in and out of cover, pero it's not enough. Napatay pa nga si Jeff Rocks. Napatay pa nga ni JCD. Dalawa ang naging double kill. At naging 1v1 pa nga. Leo versus JCD. The rifle's trying to do a lot of damage, but at the end of it, it's JCD who gets another round para sa R7 ngayon.
Grabe, nag-iinit na si JCD dito. Mapa-sniper man or mapa-AK-47. Kayang-kaya niyang gawin para dito sa R7. And R7 back on the board, back on the momentum. This is the R7 that we expected to see no map number 1 pa lang. But now they're fully ramped up. fully warmed up dito sa series natin. Kristan looking for the opener, pero si Charles nandun din sa high mid. Medyo hinaharas nila yung hukay. Double nade, 14 HP. Jeff Rocks wanting to secure that kill as he does, pero si Hexa mauuwa na naman yung trade.
Sobrang ganda ng effort sana. He would have actually gotten more damage done there, pero still, because of the double nade, because of the amount of pressure sent up galing doon sa top mid at saka sa may bypass na nagawa talaga agad si Kristan despite a lot of time being bought for him. Si Jeff Rocks lang yung makukuha ang pitas ng XPT. It's gonna be a push all the way doon sa akyatan para expect nila kung may tao all the way from that tower's position. I think Jam's also been in this position before, so he's going to be prepared for what's to come. As XPT are going to try to surprise him, and Jam getting a double kill. Hexa is also the next to possibly be the victim of Jam. He is going to be on the receiving end of a bullet. 1v3 this time after another shot from Inverse, pero siya na lang yung natitira. At sa sobrang init ni Charles, sa sobrang init lalo ni JCD, I don't think he's gonna be enough unless he surprises us, especially with the C4 on the other side of the smoke.
Yeah, Inverse, 9 kills so far para sa kanya dito sa game natin. He cannot pick up the C4. It's gonna make a sound. Gonna have to investigate the surroundings just in case na meron pang player na nasa loob. Pero JCD spotted ang kanyang likod. Good quick scope galing kay Inverse. Pero hindi nagre-react si Charles dito. He is simply the bait. Waiting for that C4 pickup at lalabas siya dito sa RS. There we go. That's the swing. Uy, pero Inverse actually expecting it. Pero alam niya ba, i-expect na ba na meron pang tao dito sa likod?
15.
Oh, nade! Is he dead? Is he alive? Mukhang hindi. There we go. Charles getting that last kill. And R7, no? Back on it dito sa series natin. Xypher, it's been an impressive start para sa kanila dito, pare, pero that's how you finish.
Init talaga para sa R7 right now. 63 para sa scoreline natin. Mga tropa, as Ajax, he again keeps the momentum going para sa blacklist side ng R7 right now. Gets a strong pick papunta dito kay Inverse with the sniper. Kristan gonna have to back off considering that his mid player and a lot of attention being bought from the bench position as it's gonna be that one frag. He has to go back to safety pero he is not gonna be safe. He is the danger. Pinatay pa nga yung tatlo sa R7 pero si Jeff Rocks nandito pa rin at nakakuha pa rin ng damage.
My God!
Pa nga ng tatlo. Lahat ng yon laban kay Jeff Rocks at naka-triple kill. Nakakuha ng round para sa R7.
Yun lang. That is what I expect galing dito kay Jeff Rocks, pare. I mean, we've already seen what he's capable of dito sa last Masters natin, but now he's showing it dito sa Impact. And I expect nothing less galing dito kay Jeff Rocks, man. One of the best riflers from his region. Pero titignan natin if he can get the momentum going. Leo jumping out dito sa high mid, regretting that decision. Traded out though. Pero wala silang control sa B-site whatsoever. The closest player na possibly na sumagot dito is itong si Ephraim, and he's still figuring out kung meron pang lalabas dito sa Catwalk A. Pero si Jam nasa loob ng RS, hindi niya makukuha si Kristan, pero nakuha pa kasi ng damage kay Hexa, who will get itong si Ajax. 2v3 all of a sudden.
Well, at least may silver lining. Nakapag-plat na nga ng C4 at si Jeff Rocks nakakuha pa nga ng equalizing frag, so naging 2v2 pa nga. Low on HP ang parehong si Hexa at si Kristan. Kailangan magsama-sama pero nag-decide na lang silang maghiwalay. Kristan, he's expected. Kita ni JCD. And Jeff Rocks also gonna capitalize on the 1v2 scenario or 7. The 8th round win. At habang nasa blacklist side ang R7 right now, the momentum just never stops at all laban sa XPT ngayon.
Yep, and ito yung sinasabi ko. This map will definitely not give you any favors kung ano man side kayo. It's really just about the execution. JCD though, down to start ng game. They investigate itong si Jam, still gets itong si Kristan. Pero Ajax expecting na merong lalabas dito sa TP. First shot not gonna hit. Ajax stuck dito sa may mid. He needs a teammate to bail him out immediately. Flash is gonna go through. Makakaalis naman si Ajax temporarily. Jeff Rocks getting itong si Hexa. Si Inverse gusto mag-forward. Pero dun lang pala siya sa vents the entire time. Charles will drop the C4. Pero si Ajax gusto niya kunin para ma-secure lang Jeff Rocks. Very familiar sight para sa kanya dito on the other side of the map. looking for an opening para sa kanyang team. Jeffrox with the swing. Does not hit the first shot. Pero kaya naman kunin dito si Ephraim. Does get the one tap. Makes it a 1v2 para dito kay Ajax. A lot more winnable kumpara kanina.
A high caliber player. Malalaman natin kung kaya niyang i-clutch to. Lalo na't na-hold up na yung cross, Leo. He's gonna get lucky. Pero Ajax pulls out the colt. Pero yun din yung magagawa ni Inverse. Right place, right time. Flank coming through all the way from CA. Dahil sobrang busy niya patayin si Leo, hindi na-expect agad. Ajax na mapaflank siya dito. It will be a 4th round para sa XPT so far. At least a recovery, pero a lot of work has to be done. Ephraim has to give out the bait, pero na-surprise agad si Leo. 4 na tao sa labas ng doors. Jam gonna get another. And R7 slowly picking up where they left off despite the loss dun sa previous round natin.
Oh, REA-7 kind of expecting itong XPT to be a bit desperate pagdating sa kanilang laruan. And now they have opened themselves up to a 3v5 pare. Hexa look for any semblance of presence dito sa hotel, pero mahuhulog na nga siya dito. R7 still holding the entire time. XPT scrambling para makakuha man lang ng pick dito sa mapa natin, pero hindi nila alam kung nasa yung mga players ng R7. Inverse in a bad spot. Actually, pwede silang bumalik ng A-site and try to flood yung sniper dito ni Inverse. Pero si Jeffrox lang pala, he's gonna challenge the sniper to a 1v1 as he slides on by. Inverse not noticing na meron na pala nakakit sa top A as he hears the footsteps. Pero hindi nila alam na meron din tao sa RS. Si Kristan pala yung mababait and the only one left alive. Inverse unknown ng kanyang posisyon, pero alam na ng R7 na walang tao dito sa B-site. At si Inverse looking for anything to save this game para sa kanyang team, pare.
Nasa ibang bansa si Inverse. Nung nangyari ang execute, he does get himself the flick shot, pero ang R7 ay nakapag-dominate sa pag-execute nila all the way towards Zone B. The split-ups at saka yung naging push nila all the way towards that side of the map. Overwhelming the odds, overwhelming yung anchors inside of XPT, even though Ephraim and Hexa did everything that they could to hold him off. Medyo naging aggressive pa sila doon sa may doors position. The quick punish, and it also gave the numbers advantage very early on. So 9-4 now. R7 a comfortable position, but considering yung health disadvantage ni Ajax at saka ni Jeffrox, we'll have to be careful about the push on in. Pero si Jeffrox nakakuha pa nga ng napagandang timing. Hotel in full control. Thanks to that time all the way towards Eleo. 5v4 this time at Sneaky. I think the pace has gotten to XPT na.
Yeah, could be the beginning of the end here. Jeffrox really is the type of player that can just get into that mode individually. Makakahanap talaga ng pick yan kahit papano. And XPT stuck with a 2-2 position. Ajax getting itong si Ephraim. Inverse na lang natitira. Can't hit the second shot. Naka-sniper din dito si Ajax. Hindi siya nakakasa in time. Jam getting itong si Kristan sa kabila. And the C4 plant will start. Exit yung closest player. Inverse not spotting si Ajax. Nakaharang ang kanyang barrel at Jam with the swing, with the headshot. And that is it para dito sa R7 as they collect their first win dito sa CFS/PH Impact 2025.
In 2-1 fashion in a reverse sweep for REA-7. Congratulations sa kanila na panalo ang pinakaunang game dito sa CFS/PH Impact Summer 2025. It took a very long road to get ahead of it. Talagang na-surprise tayo na ang XPT ay nakakuha ng first point on momentum doon pa lang sa compound map natin. Pero was it really a surprise considering how well naglalaro sila doon sa kanilang blacklist side? So they definitely have shown their strength, pero at the end of it, yung R7 kailangan mag-adapt, kailangan ng oras para makapag-online na yung mga star players na si Jeffrox at saka si JCD. And nung dumating na yung napaka-crucial na point, I think Ajax has done a really good job getting the perfect timing. At sa mga opening picks niya with that AWM, mukhang naging valuable yung presence niya dito all throughout the series. So I think it's very hard na may stop yung R7 kung ganito sila kainit, pare.
Yeah, for sure. I think yung R7 especially, they're all about that momentum, especially personally knowing yung mga ibang players dito. I mean, once you give them 1 or 2 rounds na maganda yung mga kills na kinukuha nila dito, then ayun nga, that would be very, very nice para sa kanila dito, and they're gonna start, acting like they did dito sa Ankara. Pero credit pa rin dito sa Xypher for being a newer team dito sa tournament natin, dito sa CFS Impact Masters to be specific. No, it's not too bad of a first showing para sa kanila dito, considering they did beat etong REA-7 on compound on map number 1, but unfortunately experience rings through pare for map number 2 and map number 3, and that's just what kind of won it out. And I feel like yung performance ni Jeff Rocks dun sa Ankara map, especially kakaya nga na sinabi ko, when he gets into that mode where he can just individually get kills sa kabilang side ng map, or he could be aggressive to try and sneak right behind the enemy lines, yun yung pinaka-delikado mode dito ni Jeff Rocks pare. Pag si Jeff Rocks naka 15-8 na kunyari, or 16-8 na yung kanyang score, and he's just pushing relentlessly sa kanyang kalaban, napakahirap yung pigilan pare.
Sobra nga naman, just ending it with 15 plus kills. I believe it was 16 by the end of it nga naman after yung hotel push, after niya mapatay itong si Leo, I think by the end of it, we knew that it was over na nung nagkaroon na siya ng napakagandang start sa mga rounds natin. I think we also have to mention the amount of times that XPT attempted yung push nila all the way towards that tor's position. A lot of times they actually have been successful with it, pero in the few times na nakapag-adapt na yung R7 talagang medyo naging downhill na by the end of it. So despite a really good strats, despite na napakaganda ng performance nila from that first game, it's just not enough, man. Of course, the mental fortitude is also something that they have to consider, and I think R7 really had that in the bag na ngayon. Diba, Sneaky?
Yeah. R7, I think they're breathing a sigh of relief na debut games, Impact. It's been a while since yung last game nila, especially sa mga players, and glad that they got the first win on the board. Pero obviously, this is also a warning sign para sa ibang teams natin na nasa loob ng bracket natin or in our round robin, that it's not gonna be as easy as it was last year na top teams are definitely gonna beat bottom teams. I feel like itong Impact this time, there is gonna be some heavy hitters, especially galing sa mga teams na baguhan pa lang dito sa tournament natin.
For sure. I think we also have a lot of time para makita yung highlights, mapakita yung kung ano yung naging game state ng buong game na to. We're just gonna wait and see a little bit, talk a little bit more about how the game has gone through. So, napag-usapan natin ng malala yung compound kanina because of how much time we actually had all throughout that series. So I think it's best to kind of make some sort of judgment so far for both of these teams. I want to know your thoughts on R7 right now, considering that this is one of the organizations na may history sa Impact, so alam nila yung pressure, alam nila yung stakes. How does it feel for R7 right now to get the first point of momentum, and how much does this mean for the games for them moving forward?
Yeah, for yung rest of yung seasons dito, for the rest of the season para dito sa R7, them being off to a good start, is a sign for good times, considering na, if I am not mistaken, their last stint dito sa Masters or Impact tournaments didn't really do too well. I think nag-5th place sila dun sa Impact Summer 2024, and obviously I didn't think they played nung Impact Fall. Yeah, they didn't play nung Impact Fall. So it's nice seeing them back, especially considering yung mga ibang players natin on R7 already had their stints dito sa Masters. And especially para dito kay Jeff Rocks, Charles JCD, really want to at least increase yung level ng buong tournament ito with having these players in the tournament, and also including itong si Jam at si Ajax, who also had their fair share Masters experience prior yung season natin. So at least reassurance lang to para dito sa REA-7 na kaya pa natin. Kaya pa natin makisabay with yung mga newer teams natin dito, and we can definitely give some trouble dito sa mga ibang better teams dito, pare.
You think if they made Masters, magkakaroon sila ng splash very quickly?
Now? REA-7?
Ngayon, yung state ng REA-7.
I plead the fifth, man. I can't be honest. I can't be too honest sa broadcast, pare. Let them bask in their victory, man. Let them celebrate it. Masters is an entirely different conversation. Pero yun nga, set summary of course dito sa ating Ankara, or Ankara na map, as you can see. Is that map or port? Yeah. Pero yun nga, the 2.0 KD para dito kay Jeff Rocks, 1.14 kills per round, and yun nga, the headshots per kill are off the charts para sa mga players dito ng R7. And ayun nga, I mean, overall impressive performance para sa kanila lahat, especially para dito kay Jeff Rocks, who is, you know, finally getting comfortable, no, dito sa tournament natin. And I look forward to seeing more galing dito kay Jeff Rocks, especially na he can pop off exactly like this, pare.
For sure. I think it's a good tournament so far, or a good run para kay Jeff Rock so far sa kanyang naging first game. And if he keeps that, especially with yung naging support niya from Jam at saka kay Ajax, and moving forward, I think it's gonna be a solid run for REA-7 habang tumatagal na yun. I think it's also a good way to kind of introduce yung Xypher Pro team as well. Kahit natalo sila ngayon, they could just have their mappings, they could just have their scrims again. They talk about it in their VOD reviews kung medyo naging nervous ba or naging nahihiya yung mga players na makapag-communicate. Pero ayun na nga, sa buong naging match natin, makikita nyo dito that it was a reverse sweep. So you can tell na hindi siya gaanong kadali para sa REA-7 na umabot sa puntong to, pero nung dumating na sa set 3 sa Ankara of all things, I think nagkaroon na ng difference in terms of confidence na ang REA-7 ngayon laban sa Xypher Pro team.
Yeah, just like how I said, no, Ankara is more of an equal map kumpara nga dito sa Port at sa Compound, being more skewed papunta nga dito sa GR side natin. This kind of answers the question of what happens pag nangbunggo yung dalawang teams na to on a map where both sides can be just as effective. And it seems like itong REA-7 is effective on both sides of the map. And we are gonna go into yung match MVP natin, which I guess it is most likely gonna be Mr. Jeff Rocks with a 1.14 kill per round, 2 KD, 15 AP, hella headshots per kill, and a hella smokes per round. Pero yun na nga, I mean, Jeff Rocks expected, no? Kasi he kind of carried most of the offense para dito sa ating REA-7 squad.
Yeah, the star of the show para sa REA-7, and I think we'll see a lot more out of him pag tumatagal na ang summer season natin dito sa CFS/PH Impact 2025. Pero yun na, mga kaibigan, it is a very well-played game para dito sa side ng REA-7. So tingnan muna natin yung naging buong performance si Jeff Rocks all throughout this game. Look at him, he's just so comfortable either on the rifle, or sometimes you also see him heralding yung isa sa mga EWMs natin. So I think it's beautiful to see coming from Jeff Rocks right now. Kahit dun sa port map natin, I think that's also a highlight for Jeff Rocks as a player, where you can kind of put him in a position kahit anong position niya, he will always know what to do. But sometimes you also have a good balance of being aggressive and passive nga nun, di ba? I think parang rare breed na yun na pwede natin ma-expect from anybody in Crossfire. At buti na lang si Jeff Rocks yung may killer instinct dito sa ating pinakunang game natin, Siki.
Yeah, I mean, just like I was said, man, just as expected, galing dito kay Jeff Rocks, he's probably the most experienced player on the team other than kay Ajax dito. And with the wealth of experience na meron dito, yung REA-7 squad, it's kind of hard to beat them with conventional ways. Kaya nakita natin sa Xypher kanina that, you know, you can overwhelm us pagdating nga dito sa Compound, but when it comes to more traditional maps, kagaya nga ng Port, kagaya nga ng Ankara dito, well, it's a different story para sa kanila. So I'm really glad na REA-7 did get that map number 1, and or map number 1, that set number 1, and I can't wait para makita natin kung ano yung next match actually right after this, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vengeance versus Al Sovereign para dito sa ating second game. And I'm sure mga kaibigan ay gustong-gusto nyo masuportahan ng dalawang teams na yun papunta sa ating susunod na game. So hindi kami aalis. Siyempre may konting break lamang. Medyo pahinga dahil sa sobrang init ng naging first game natin dito sa CFS/PH Impact Summer 2025. Ang Officer Moon, kasama ko si Sneaky Frog. Magbabalik ang broadcast natin.